Hey everyone, and welcome back to the third episode of our Witcher D&D group. And we have already played 2 episodes, so this is number 3. And like things are getting a bit interesting today because our group entered a new town, and it's already a bit strange what's happening. But I'm not going to spoil anything. We're doing a quick recap in a second. So first of all, let's quickly introduce ourselves. So Crozyr, who are you, and what are you doing in this live stream?
Hey everyone. I'm one of the party members of this awesome D&D troop. My name is Crozyr, and I usually stream Gwent about 5 times a week at around 1 p.m. CET on Twitch. So that's where you could find me.
Shall I go ahead?
Please.
Well, I'm RyanGodric, and you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, also as RyanGodric. And I usually stream during the week at 8 p.m. CEST. And yeah, play Gwent.
Hi, I am Lothari. I am an article writer and content creator for Team Aretusa, and also somewhat known for getting myself into trouble with our Gwent subreddit mods recently. That's a different story. Yeah, you can usually find me on Twitter, any number of Gwent-related Discords, the Team Aretusa website, and occasionally, when life isn't getting in the way, on Twitch as well.
Yeah, and I'm King Cricket. I'm doing like weekly End of Gwent guides on YouTube, and since lately we're also doing like this. I'm actually hosting this D&D group on every Monday. So if you want to like continue watching, we build there for you every Monday on 7 p.m. CST. And typically we would have also Miss Lady J playing here, but she couldn't make it today. But the good news is we actually have another player for you today. He actually will become a permanent player of this campaign, but for now, like, the group hasn't discovered him, so let's see when this will happen. I hope soon, otherwise like he will get bored very easily. And that's it. I think we'll do a quick recap, and then we go straight into it. So guys, can you quickly like recap what happened so far on the last episode?
I can do the start. I remember that we had our shipwreck, and that was the start of the episode. And so we fought our way through the forest. We were tracking some elves, and we were actually trying to find one person that sailed with us on the ship. I remember her name as Rahir, I think. She was a very strong woman, or Rahir, and I think someone in our group had the hots for her, but we couldn't find her yet. So we'll see. Maybe we can do that in the future. And then we went south instead of east. I remember that.
Yes.
The river is to the west of us, and we encountered a little village called Windbruck. And here we felt a weird presence of the townspeople had a lot of respect for the sorceress that was living there, or the mage in the mage tower, and it was somehow connected to the Scoia'tael.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
For
good
a
recap.
year or so, the Scoia'tael have been being a menace, running amok in the local area, but not a single one of them has touched Windbruck. And that was making a couple of people, specifically the captain of the guard, highly suspicious.
Do you also remember what the people said about the captain of the guard?
Not
Never mind.
specifically about the captain of the guard, no.
Okay, that's pretty a decent recap. What happened then is like you stayed at the inn, and this is like where we do a quick cut until today's session because like Calvendra felt a bit sick, so you decided to go to bed a bit earlier. There's like 2 rooms, like it's not a big inn, so like every more or less got the only room that is like in a good shape, so to say. It's actually pretty okay. It's like it's a bed like with like it's with straw on it, but it actually has some sheets on it, so it's actually quite okay. While Helga and Dio more or less sleeping like in the public room. It's not in the public room where the people sit, but like a room to the side, and it's like basically straw bags, but it's also not too uncomfy. So before we start, is there anything you want to do throughout the night or in the night until the next day starts? Yes?
Yeah, I probably when I had a moment's peace after we finished dinner, I
Mhm.
probably would have started reading A Guide to Healing by someone or other.
Okay. So basically, like, how many hours do you want to spend reading the book?
3 or 4.
Okay, that's pretty okay. So you can roll 2 Arcana checks.
2
And
Arcana checks.
yes, and just tell me like what the results are.
The first one is 23. The second one is 21.
Oh, that's pretty good. Like you're basically crunching through the pages, and one thing that actually already caught your mind after like already reading like the first like quarter of the book or something, if like it's really big, but you're like you're also not going into that detail, but you're just kind of like trying to get an overview so you can go into details, like very scientifically written, so to say. So it's not like something like easy to read. So you're kind of trying to get an overview and then digging into it. And what you see is like it's actually the normal like guide to healing book could probably encounter, let's say, in Novigrad as well. But there are a lot of notes on the sides every time, and what you get from the notes is that theory that like Trisha had about like healing is less about like the traditional closing wound stuff, rejuvenating like a tissue or something. It's more about transforming. It's like it's about transforming like skin, so it basically just grows back but without like rejuvenating old pieces, but like just using what's there and like transforming the matter into a new tissue, so to say. And that's like a very like in the end, like the result is probably the same, but the approach is kind of like a different one. And so for me, the question is now, after like reading a quarter of the books, like where do you want to put more attention into your next reading? Do you want to put more attention like on like get into the traditional book, we're saying like, okay, you probably can like get the essence of like how to rejuvenating rounds, or you want to learn more about like this transformation process like that Tricia is like writing on the side?
I think I put more focus on what Trisha has added to the theory, and like continue skimming everything else that's there, but focus in on where she's making a difference.
Okay. Goodie. Everyone, like since you're resting as well, you can roll another how's it called? Like it's your hit dice off your class. So I think Barbarian is like 1d12 or 1d10, I think, plus your Constitution modifier, and that like are the hit points you regain over the night if you're not at full hit points right now.
What exactly do I roll?
You roll the dice of your class, which is in your case 1d10, plus your Constitution modifier.
Okay.
Somehow, someone managed to make it through the last battle completely unscathed.
Okay, and then like it's the next morning, and everyone except Helga is probably able to get up like at a decent time, and like you can decide what you do with your day. In the tavern, there are actually already 2 people sitting there and like eating like some probably porridge or something, and like the question is, what do you do?
I mean, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind at all that I would try to sit down and start talking things through with Deok.
I mean, like
Without, like ignoring the fact that Herger and Calavandra aren't there, I will just start talking to Deok about the way forward.
Yeah, basically like Deok and Effie, you make your way like into the tavern, like into the ground level of the tavern. Like so like there are like 3 or 4 tables, like on one like 2 people are already sitting there and like eating the porridge. What like where do you sit like when I like taking separate table? What are you going to do?
We're probably gonna go like into the opposite direction, sit in the corner, and try to keep our voices down. And also, during the night, I was probably lying next to Herger, so I could kick him every time he started snoring, so the other people could get some rest in the room. But yeah, now sitting with Effie, I think the first thing I want to hide is that I that it took so long for me to realize that we've actually got an elf with us. Because I remember the guard telling us that, oh yeah, there's a spell supposedly casted by the sorceress that no elf can enter the town. And obviously we had Calavandra with us, but she was not visibly an elf, so nobody knew she was an elf. So when the guard told us, hey, there can't be any elves in this town, a few of us were smart enough to realize that we've got an elf with us, so this spell must have either not worked or has some I don't know, some additional information we don't know yet, but yeah.
I do find it rather telling that the captain of the guard asked me whether I was from Nilfgaard.
Hmm.
And I can't quite help but find that slightly odd.
Did he only ask about you or about us?
He asked me specifically, and then got very defensive when I said I was from Sintra.
Good morning! My friends! Bogdan here. What can Bogdan bring you for your first meal of the day? The first meal of the day is the best meal of the day. Maleti?
Just porridge, please.
Porridge, of course.
I'll have the same.
Sure. Like Helga, like when you hear like the good morning, like basically ringing through the whole of the inn, you're like, oh, and you're getting up. Yeah. Calavandra is like still sick, and she's lying kind of like next to you. You have like a little exchange, and you decide that it's probably better for Calavandra to like stay in the inn for now, and like you get up and can join the fray.
Okay, yeah, so I join in, and I ask for an ale, a good morning ale, to help with the hangover, first thing. And then I sit down with my friends, and I look at them, and all of a sudden I have like a moment of realization on my face that we had this whole elf situation yesterday. And I'm like, Deok, Efri, I just realized the things the guard captain said. We can't possibly have an elf with us, can we? Because a spell would keep her away. How could Calavandra pretend she was an elf all along? when she clearly has to be something else.
Helga, I feel that you may have slightly misunderstood the situation here.
She lied to us. I can't
No.
believe it. I trusted her.
Well, potentially. If I'm perfectly honest, who could tell with that woman? But let's assume for a moment that we've not been lied to for this entire time, and that perhaps what the captain of the guard was saying was not true. Let's consider that for a moment.
Because I think he was also considering that the spell might be a lie. And also, Helga, please try to keep your voice down, because I feel like we should try to avoid any conspiracy theories getting out of this circle. And
Yes.
changing the topic just slightly, is this Calavandra not feeling so well?
Yeah, I don't know. She seems to be a bit under the weather.
Maybe it's because she tried ale for the first time yesterday.
Or perhaps the spell is real.
Perhaps.
Oh.
Bogdan comes in like, here's your porridge. The big boy porridge.
The double size potion.
Double porridge, of course. And he's going again.
I intend to speak to Lady Trisha at the earliest time I can, but she rather gave me the impression that she does not want to be disturbed until the next appointed time of meeting, and that's not 2 weeks. That's not until 2 weeks from now, so...
Do you remember what like townfolk said about Lady Trisha? Especially the
Yes,
Lady of the
I
Inkling?
mean, they have been absolutely raving about her, and I got the impression it was to do with the healing, because as soon as they saw me with my healing book, they started saying, please, you can help.
And she's there every Tuesday, I believe, or just once a week. And
I mean, what day are we on?
Monday.
oh,
So I can also go and talk to her tomorrow, perhaps.
that's true. So we could we could just go to bed again and sleep until tomorrow.
I mean, we still have a missing person that
That's
doesn't
true.
seem to be here.
Okay, so I think we've got a few possible options to go to. We could go to the guardhouse and see what the who was it again? The captain of the guard has to say if he's got any additional info. We could try to figure out if he is a reliable source by asking other people about him, or we could go into the woods and try to find the squirtel that left.
There were another set of tracks.
Mm,
Perhaps we followed the wrong ones.
it's true.
I wish Calavandra could be with us right now, but I do know from talking to her that she did have some friends in this area, so they might also know more.
Mm.
I'm not
Well, they may try
sure
to
how much I am allowed to say. She did tell me these things in private.
Well, the more we know, the better, I guess.
You can make a persuasion check if you want. If you want to try to persuade him.
Rolling a persuasion check.
If you do if you do a good real life persuasion, I give you advantage in it. But like you need to do good persuasion here. Give him a reason.
All right,
Go.
Helga. You know what? With Calavandrel being sick today, we are a man down. So I think if we want to have a chance here in our task, in our world, I think we need all the help we can get. And if we can't rely on her body, we have to rely on her mind, right? So you're the only person that talked a lot to her, so maybe you can take that part, Helga. I know it's hard, but I think if there's anybody that can fill enough space for two, then it would be you, Helga. I know I can rely on you. I saw how you defeated the wolves, man. You always ready.
Excuse me?
Yeah, the more you talk, the bigger the smile on my face becomes.
Let us drink to your hero stories.
Yes, let us drink more ale, Bogdan.
Bogdan is racing from from kitchen. I heard the word ale.
Exactly, Bogdan. Bring us to ale. Efri, do you want a wine?
No, thank you.
Okay, you get actually ale in the morning, and like the people on the next table are like looking at you and continue eating. Helga.
So, it was lots of names that she mentioned, and I may have forgotten half of them, but it was about her and some other elf, as far as I could tell by their name, who had some kind of friendship here and spent a lot of time together, and he hid a substantial treasure for her that she was supposed to look for. And I don't know what exactly is up with the treasure, if it's just money. It seemed like there was more involved. He also talked about worrying things that were happening here, and that their presence was more than just robbing Dwan. I doubt that very much. I think it was just robbing Dwan. But he said something else is going on. So
He actually
That
got
doesn't sound
he actually
like
got the thing
confidence.
with yourself, Helga. Like she handed something over to you.
oh, I can have the whole.
Yeah.
Oh, I say. I grab like into like a space, like a deep pocket in my pants, and I'm like, oh, what is this? What is this? And I find a letter.
I don't know, you tell us.
But I can't read.
Oh,
So-
well, then give it here.
Yeah, I'll hand the letter over to you. One moment.
She was so confident that you could read. Actually, she was like, just give me the letter.
She told me about the things in the letter.
Actually, we can put up the letter here. Give me a second. Let me see. Image. If you were actually sharing it with the world, then let me share it with everyone, so to say.
Sharing the letter.
I'm sharing the letter.
I'm great at keeping secrets.
Yeah, you're really great. It's crazy. You lasted for 5 minutes.
I mean, it's a new world record.
Yeah,
Now
it's not
someone
bad.
only has to make it to 6. That's insane. No one can do that.
Okay, there we go. It's a big here. Give me a second. I just put it over your face for a second. Okay, there we go.
So I read this. I read this out to
Mhm.
Dale and Helga. I actually will. Why not? Hey, comrade. It's me, Ike. Do you even remember me? We spent some time together when I was assigned to your commando. It was not much, but I cherished every second of it, especially the one night where we had to hide a full day and night together in the backyard of the farmer's house, because suddenly the whole town was filled with guards and we couldn't find a way out.
Yeah.
I don't blame you for forgetting me, but I haven't forgotten you. I'm writing to you because I have the feeling that my last days are numbered. Strange things happen near Windbruck, and Edenad, our captain, started to give very harsh and irrational orders lately. We do way more than just killing and robbing Dwan, but I don't want to write about it. Here's the important thing. Throughout the last year, I was able to steal a small fortune together, which I wanted to use to get out of the mess we're in, but now it seems that I won't be able to use it anymore. Go to Windbruck, follow the white lilies in the north until you reach a big oak. Climb onto the lowest branch, look where the branch is heading, and fire an arrow in that direction. Dig beneath the tree, which was hit by the arrow, and you will find my little treasure. I hope the Hawkers can be trusted as this letter reaches you, and we will be in grave danger if someone else reads about it. Please don't forget me. I heck.
Well, okay then.
It seems there's a little more to Calavendra than she was initially willing to tell us. Though I'm hardly surprised.
Okay.
What you gonna do?
White lilies. It seems that we may be able to kill two birds with one stone, at least. Maybe this commando in this area knows something about Rahir's whereabouts.
Hmm.
And that can at least save a day while we wait for Trisha to be available.
And of course, I don't really care about treasure itself, but I love the idea of finding it first, just to throw some shade at Calavendra.
Maybe.
I'm sure that's a terrible idea.
Well, we could maybe find it for Calavandrel and bring it to her, right?
You're so
That would
good
be
at it, it's
very
crazy.
nice.
It might impress me.
Exactly. And maybe like there's something for us in it as well.
I heard 10% like for everyone who finds something.
Exactly.
Okay.
By the way, the other people in this tavern, what do they look like?
They're like woodcutters. Like they actually have the
Oh, I
access,
see,
like
okay.
standing next to the door, and they're probably heading out soon. I guess. Like they finished their porridge.
They're not trying to listen in or anything, are they?
Make a perception check.
Perception or insight?
Perception in this case.
It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah,
Oh, it
then.
does. It does. It makes a big difference. Well, never mind. 11.
They don't really like. You don't really think like they're observing you. They're just like sometimes like throwing a glance like at your table, but like nothing really would call it eavesdropping.
Okay. I keep an eye, like every now and then, I'm glancing over to them, just to make sure.
I would suggest that we finish our ale and our porridge and grab our stuff and head out,
Yeah,
so we can actually achieve something this day.
make as much use of it as we can. I agree.
Do you take anything special with you, or like just like grab your standard equipment and?
Yeah, I grabbed most of my stuff.
Okay.
I leave the book in the tavern in the room.
Okay.
Is it locked or lockable?
Nope.
I hide it under the bed, just in case.
Okay.
Good call.
Good then. As you prepare, like the woodcutters already have left town, and you're standing in front of the inn, and you're like, okay, like, where do you want to go?
So I definitely want to check out the smith, but we can do that tomorrow as well.
The letter
So-
points us north,
Yeah.
which we
Maybe-
may have wanted to do to track Rahir anyway.
And I mean, the guardhouse is on the way as well, so we could pass that.
Okay.
I would like to acquire a bit of information about the captain.
Okay. Yeah, well, you can pass by the like as you pass by the guard says you like it's a house like you can knock on it if you want to.
Mhm.
Okay, you knock on it like and at some point like a very young guard in half armor, so to say. Like he doesn't wear like his big chunk or like he doesn't look like for example like the male, but he has like the like his big and he's like yeah. What? How can I help you?
Oh well, good morning, good sir. I was wondering if the captain of the guard is there. We could maybe talk to him. He invited us for a meeting in yesterday.
The captain? I fear the captain is still asleep.
Oh, he's still asleep. What's your name, young man?
Oh, I'm Alfred.
Alfred. Alfred. So you look like you're still green behind the ears. Are you a guard?
How dare you, sir?
You? It was a compliment, my friend. You look very young and strong and fit.
Thank you, I
The
guess.
high deal. Effrey is just grinning ear to ear.
So would you maybe tell us if the captain will be available later, like he said?
Oh, I'm sure of it. Like he typically like in the evening he drinks a bit, and then like like when the sun is higher, like he should be up and running.
All right, Alfred. Yeah, thank you.
And one more question, Alfred. Have you ever seen an elf with your own eyes?
An elf? Like those
Yes.
damn bastards? Of course I have. Like we're the guard. Like we keeping like the elves at bay. Like we are the ones who protect the woodcutters in the forest. Without us, like what would this town be?
Of course.
So maybe you can also tell us about the Scoia'tael in the forest here and how they look and what their signature is.
Nasty people.
I've heard they've got this red red mockingjay on their right shoulder. Is that true?
I don't know anything about a red mockingjay, but like their arrows are like quiet as the wind. Like if you see the arrow, it's too late. So don't get hit by an arrow.
Sounded nice.
So you never actually saw an arrow then?
Excuse me.
No, just following your logic. That means that if you saw an arrow, it's too late, right?
Are you mocking me? Actually, yes.
Nah, I'm just.
Alfred, we know that you are doing your hardest work here to keep the filthy.
Yes.
spirits
We are
out of
so
the
grateful,
city.
really grateful.
We are really grateful for everything you do.
Yeah, you don't belong to this town. Why are you grateful? I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for this town.
Because-
I am appreciating every noble soul that is trying to compete with the mighty Herger to give him more of a challenge to excel.
If I may, dear Alfred, we simply mean to give our thanks for your continued effort in keeping Windbruck safe.
Yeah, I don't need your thanks.
And in doing so, have you seen an elf in Windbruck in the last year?
Of course not. Lady Trisha saw to that, and we from the guard, we protect the forest. Of course there are no elves here. Like we're an elf-free city.
Have you seen what would happen if an elf would enter the city? What would happen to them? Would they explode?
It is not possible for an elf to enter the city.
Can you?
Of Windbruck.
Okay, we'll leave you be. I just have one last question. Maybe can you? Do you know what your ways around here? Like, are you a Windbruck citizen since you're young?
Of course I am.
So maybe you can tell us where the tracks in the forest lead that go east towards the mountains.
I don't know of any tracks.
Or just in general, like where do you what city do you reach when you go east?
East?
Yeah,
East,
you
there are
know
only
where
the
sun
mountains.
goes up.
Only the mountains, and people say that dwarves in the mountains.
Ooh, okay. Have you ever met a dwarf?
A
I heard they're
dwarf?
terrible drinkers.
No, I've not met a dwarf.
Oh, okay.
I do give the Alfred a description of Rahia as well to see whether she's been seen in the last 48 hours.
He's like, No, was she with you?
She was on our ship when the Scoia'tael attacked it and was, we believe, taken prisoner. We're trying to find her.
Oh, you've been on the ship. No. If she was on the ship, then she probably like the elves got her probably.
Do you know where they hide?
Have you ever led an attack on them on one of their camps?
Continuously, of course. Like without the city guard of like Windbruck, like nothing would stand anymore. Like we are here for their safety.
Oh, perfect.
When do you plan your next assault? So I could join.
Like I need to ask the guard captain for that.
I see. Maybe you can tell us where the last attack took place.
Oh, it's just like I think like 2 days ago, right? Like there were like a ship crashed in the north of here.
And you then went into the forest and defeated the Scoia'tael?
Oh no, we have not encountered any Scoia'tael. The woodcutters have been been sent to the ship, but well, we no. I'm sorry. No, we didn't encounter any Scoia'tael yet. We tried our best.
Alfred.
Yes.
Take a moment, breathe, and maybe try to repeat that last sentence in a more sensible fashion.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like you're getting on my nerves. If you can't appreciate the safety of this town, then
Okay.
And he's like, good day.
I'm doing an insight check.
Yes, please.
Inside.
16.
It's not too bad. Yeah, he feels like 14?
13. Yeah.
18.
18. Okay, that's pretty good. Like Diogen, like every what you get is it seems like he's like there's something like not right. Like he's kind of like repeating himself, but like kind of like haspling or like stumbling over his own words, and you don't know what it is.
Well, Alfred, I appreciate your help. I just think that...
and he closes the door in front of you.
Thank you.
I swear that people in this town are increasingly difficult to talk to.
Yeah, it seems like they don't actually have anything to say, and they just repeat what they have been told.
Maybe. Or they're all in on it, whatever it is.
Alright, shall
We'll see.
Shall we head north or go towards the harbor?
Let's head north.
Okay.
No.
What does the wind tell us? Go north or go to the harbor?
The wind.
I want to do a perception check.
Okay, sure.
18.
Wow, you feel there's like
There we are. Okay.
yeah, there's not really wind like.
Oh, it's 24 actually. It's 24.
Yeah, you feel really like you feel just nothing like.
Nice try, though. That's not quite how this system works.
The sun is actually like really like on like the sun is quite high already. It's pretty hot outside. Like you're at the beginning of summer, and like
Let's head north. Let's head north before more time is
Alright.
wasted.
Okay, where exactly do you head north?
Back along the path to start with, I guess, would be the sensible option. At least until we start seeing white lilies. After
wanna-
that, who knows?
I want to follow the path that the lumberjacks would take and see where they work.
Oh, the lumberjacks are already like they're you don't see them like anymore. They have been out of the town.
So maybe we can follow the main road and then see if there's any like footpaths.
Oh,
that
actually, like
lead to the
before,
forest.
like you follow the main path, and like at the beginning of the forest, you actually already see white lilies like growing everywhere on the forest floor. They're like pretty, like there's like a pretty big field of lilies going into the
Is it
forest.
obvious?
Congratulations, heck.
Would it be possible to like is it obvious that they are leading somewhere, or would it be necessary to do an kind of perception or investigation check to see if there's some kind of trick
Well,
that we can follow?
there's no track. You can like you don't see any tracks, and but there's like a big field of lilies, and it's like pretty broad, but it's not going like it's not like a circle which just spans in every direction. It's more like a big field that just goes into the forest, and like there is like you don't see like the end of the field. Like it's like sometimes it's more dense and sometimes it's less dense, but you see an end on both sides, kind of like if you just walk a bit left and right, so to say. So there's a kind of like a clear direction of like in where the lilies are going.
Okay. So I would like to start following that general direction through the lilies.
Sure.
I suppose I follow and kind of turn to Diok and say, I guess we're going this way.
How fast do you want to go? Like, do you want to like be very careful? Do you want to just go normal walking speed, or do you want just?
I'm just marching forward with my typical hugger speed.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep my eyes open while we follow.
Okay. So,
I
Aaron,
guess it's Herger, then me, then Diok. As a marching order.
Seems good.
okay, perception checks, everyone, please.
13.
Okay.
9.
Oh, I rolled a natural 1.
Good. Like you hear like noises out of the forest like all the time. It's like could be a bear, like could be a wolf again. You know, like from all like the forest is really like scaring you today, even though the sun is out.
I am bravely trying to hide my terror behind a stoic expression, hoping that Herger and Diok will protect me.
Okay. Now also please survival checks while you move forward.
Oh no.
What's that again?
Survival?
9.
Survival. There it is.
Okay.
18.
Wow.
12.
Herger, the thing is, you have been like to forests like often, and like somehow like this whole like fall lilies thing feels very natural to you. Actually, you kind of like feel how the forest, not like saying like how the forest like feels and breathes is probably a bit like too much to say, but you kind of like get the vibe of the forest, and you kind of like intuitively like follow the lilies until you like see like some big oak trees, but there's like one oak tree that is like a bit bigger than the others, and like also kind of like the lilies kind of like stop there, and like intuitively you would say like this like you can't say why, but this tree just feels right to you.
Friends, I have found the tree. This must be it, the giant oak. And I pointed the oak with an axe.
It is a big tree.
What did the letter say again?
It said we were supposed to climb onto the lowest branch and to fire an arrow in that direction. But if you ask me, I'd rather throw an axe
That way.
to make extra sure that we hit something.
Well, I didn't bring this bow and arrow for nothing, so let me do the job then.
Okay.
But my axe.
After you.
I want to attempt climbing the tree then.
Sure. Another survival, please.
I would also like to attempt climbing high on the tree so I can maybe see into many directions. See if I can scout anything.
So you want to climb high first?
Yeah, first before I shoot the arrow.
Hmm?
Oh, jeez. It's that acrobatics, right?
It's actually survival, I think.
Survive.
Well, we could do acrobatics actually, to be honest. Like, I think it's fun as well. Whatever is higher, I guess, for you.
Then it's 11.
Okay. So, like, you have trouble because, like, the oak is so big. Like, there are really big parts where there's just, like, no tree to actually clinch to. So, you have really hard time to, like, get this climb up really high. So, you're kind of, like, stuck in the lower branches. And, like, you can, of course, try to get up higher, but you think it will be quite a challenge if you want to.
I think I'll
But you can try.
I'll stay where I am.
Effie from the forest floor is looking up, trying to recall everything she read in the book this morning, just in case she has to do some emergency healing.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll do a perception check and see if I can see anything special around us.
Then do a perception check, please.
I have 13.
Okay. So around you, like, there's nothing really interesting. But like when you look at like you like where are you currently on the tree?
On the lower branch, right?
Okay. So you stand in the lower branch, and like when you look at the direction, like where the lower branch is, you actually see that the forest is kind of like not on equal, like it's not even anymore. There's like a kind of like a small how you call it, like if it goes down a bit, like it's not like
Ravine?
yeah, probably. I think that's the right word. Let me.
Wie eine Schlucht?
Yeah, kind of like yeah.
Yeah, that's a ravine.
You could also say like a pit, but like not like like a deep pit. It's more like, you know, it's not going really. It's like this, you know.
like a dried out riverbed.
Yeah, kind of like this, kind of.
Alright. Is that the direction I should shoot my arrow?
Yeah, if you
I shout down. Which direction do I have to shoot?
The way the lowest branch is pointing at. I shot back.
Alright. So this is the direction, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of like the direction, and like you also see like a tree in front of that ravine.
How far shall I shoot?
Until it hits something,
Didn't
right?
say. You just have to feel it. I can still come out with my axe. I'm sure I'd find something.
Alright, let me give it a shot first.
Sure. Then roll attack, please.
It's a natural one.
Yes.
Congratulations. So, as you like aim with your arrow, you're like, okay, you probably like you see like there's like in front of the branch, there's only like one target you can really hit with your arrow, and you lose. But the arrow just goes straight past the tree, and you suddenly hear a big ouch.
Oh no. I immediately look in that direction.
Oh shit.
Let me see where you are.
Oh shit.
There's Helga, there's... Oh, Calavendra's not with us, right? There's Dirk. Where's Efri? There's Efri. So basically, standing like there... Oh, wait, do I move currently? Wait, give me Helga. Dirk. There you go. You're currently up here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And... Oh my god, there's so much stuff in there. And where's Helga? There. And you're also staying like here. And like from the right side, like you heard... an ouch.
And is that in like right before the camp, the tree I saw?
That is behind. Like this is the tree here. You see it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like the arrow got behind this, and like this is also like where we find like someone else in this game.
Oh, hello.
So basically, like Marcel, as you like your head is like hurting a lot, and you like as you're kind of like waking up, like you heard like this ouch, and like a bloodied one or something like after that, and this is the moment where like you open your eyes and you see that like your hands are bound together, like your feet are bound together, and you kind of like lying. Let me see, where are you? Where is Marcel? There's Marcel. And you're kind of like lying like over here. And while you're looking at it, like you see some elves actually like all over the place, more or less.
Thanks, dear.
That is a...
And right in front of you, Marcel, like two elves are like sitting. You see like some elves sleeping on the side here, and like as soon as like it's this elf over here who was actually sleeping and like got an arrow like now sticking out basically of his foot actually, and he's like ah, and he's like really screaming. That all of these elves are like huh, like what's happening? And like the elves right in front of you just like jump up from their post, so to say, and like immediately draw their swords, and they're like looking what's happening.
How much can we see? Can
You-
we just hear the owl?
You just heard the owl.
So we're looking probably, I
Yeah.
imagine, in that direction.
And Helga exclaims, "The treasure can speak! It's a magic treasure!" And I
Helga,
move
Helga,
towards the direction.
Helga.
So you're charging in this direction?
Yeah, I move.
No.
I shout, Helga, wait!
Wait!
And
Stop!
irritated by the shouts of my comrades, I turn around and I look at them with like a puzzled look on my face.
I
What?
just motion to be quiet and to like move out of the path.
Marcel, what are you going to do? Like, the elves in the camp are currently like in a bit in like disarray. They're looking like what happened. They're trying to find out like where the error comes from. And the last thing you remember is actually you're probably longer in this camp already because you woke up several times. But every time like you woke up, like the bigger elf here came to you. He was looking at you and he was like just shaking your head and like and just like getting you back to sleep right again. So like you have like several like bruises on your head, and I think the elves didn't see so far that you are awake. You're more or less like, huh? What are you going to do?
And I'm not tied to a post, right? I'm
No,
not
you're just
tied
like
to a
lying on the
post.
ground, like
Okay. My feet tied
Yes.
together?
hand and
Well,
feet.
that's not good.
What you can do though is you can make a sleight of hand check if you want to.
Okay, yes. I think I try to make a sleight of hand to untie my feet so I can try to make a little swift exit as they're all distracted.
You need to roll like a d20.
Okay.
And you've got a beautiful avatar.
I rolled an 11.
And then you add your sleight of hand modifier, which is like next to your.
Where's that one?
On your character sheet, like you have like a skill list,
Yeah.
and there's like sleight of hand, and there's like a +4 next to it, if you can see it.
+4.
Okay, so I have a 15.
Exactly.
Right.
So like actually like you can't do much right now, but in like in your like since you have been awake a bit before they always knocked you out again, and like once you have been awake while they tied your hand and your feet, and like you had this, like you were a bit smart, and like while they tied your feet you were kind of like pressing your arms a bit outer, so like there's a bit of little room like in your in your binding, so to say, so you have now a bit of wiggle space, and you can try to like wiggle your feet a bit, like so you can try to get out a bit, and like that's what you're doing right now. They also currently like what's that? Let me pull it here. They also currently like running like around here and like trying to like figure out like where the error came from. Like two looking at like what's going on here, and yeah, and those are basically getting up here. What are the others do? What do the others do?
I try to get down from the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Do I just manage that, or do I have to roll
No,
acrobatics?
down is easier most of the time, especially from the Tate.
And I'll shout to Herger in a muffled voice, like, Herger! Wait, we don't know who that is. Could be anybody, could be the elves.
Well, I couldn't wait if it was the elves. I shout back and I draw one of my hand axes.
Shall we try and find out how many they are?
Yeah, let's get a bit closer.
All right.
Okay.
Let's.
So you want to sneak
Try.
closer?
Yes.
But,
Then
yeah.
Aaron do a stealth check, please.
Stealth is not my strong suit.
My rolls are terrible. 7.
8.
12.
Okay. So Helga is actually
the
the
stealthy
least. Yeah, it's the least son of you. Basically, you're trying to like move. You're smart. You're not going into the open on the path here, but you're kind of like trying to like move. Actually, you want to go upwards or down, like top or bottom of the path.
I always try to stick to my right hand side.
So like
So
here.
bottom.
Okay, so basically you're trying. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Up, down.
No,
This
right
is
there with the others. With the others.
Okay. So basically moving up there. So Marcel, you're actually currently you're currently making like you're losing the ties a bit and the feet, and like you think like if you spend a bit more time, you probably can get like your feet free. You want to try your hands as well?
Just the feet. We're just getting the feet free. We'll deal with hands later. Just
Okay.
get the feet free.
So you focus on your feet, and like you're actually seeing that you probably can do it if you like just keep a bit here. You can do another slate of hand check, like, so you just see like how fast you're probably with this.
16.
16, it's pretty good. So you're making progress here. You're making good progress here. And like while you're making your way more towards the camp, you suddenly roll initiative. All of you. Every one of
My
you.
least favorite die roll.
Oh boy.
60.
18.
So
Oh my.
Helga is
16.
ready.
Helga is.
Not-
Did you get like Calavendra's dice or what happened?
No, it's the same one.
I rolled a 12.
You rolled a 12 or it's like your initiative?
I rolled 10 plus 2.
Okay, so 12. Okay.
Oh wait, I've got plus. Where's the initiative though? That's not there.
Initiative
Oh,
is-
it's plus 5.
It's next to your armor class. It's like on
21.
the top right. 21?
Sorry for that.
And like Marcel,
Was I supposed to roll?
you roll a d20. And
Yeah.
then you add your initiative, which is like on the kind of like in the middle top of your sheet. It's like next to the shield.
Yeah. Unless there are any other modifiers, it's usually just your dex stat or your dex bonus.
I have 19.
19. Like, is this the roll or?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's very good. You're all actually pretty good here. So, Dirk, like what you see is like an arrow, like just like next to you in the tree.
I try to get behind the tree that the arrow is on, and get some cover from the direction where the arrow came from, and do a perception check and see if I can spot any kind of elves
You do that.
near me.
Oh, I actually have the wrong music on. I just realized. I still have the tavern music on. Okay, there we
It is
go.
a 14.
It's a 14.
14 on perception.
You don't really see too much, but you saw like some run around like your southeast. You saw a shadow like slipping through trees.
Okay, I tell Effie I saw probably an elf if you think about the arrow here. And I don't know how many there are. I could just make out one shadow, but he's probably they're never alone. Shall we?
That's
Go-
enough. Like you can't speak too much in the combat round.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah.
Marcel, like you managed to break free of your like feet bindings. They're still like lying kind of like over your feet, but like with just 2 swift kicks, you can probably drop them off. And they're also currently like charging in that direction. Like what you can see.
Okay, so we're not gonna go that way.
There's one elf basically like staying here like next to the fire, kinda.
Okay, so I'm gonna kick off those ropes there and run the opposite direction that all the elves are facing.
Okay, you basically try to go somewhere there.
Yes.
Okay, you basically stand up, like make your way there, and there you go. Okay, next thing is Helga. Helga, you're standing like over there, and you just heard Diok like telling you like what he told you.
So I try to get closer as well to a point, like closer to the clearing where I can have a better view. Is that possible? Is that
You
the
can
general direction?
basically try to run like here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And
So
do I get a general scope of?
yeah, you run over here, and you basically like see one like you see like an elf here. You see an elf here. Here you see like basically the camp full of elves, and you also see another person just like with his hands tied, running from the camp. Like Marshall, how do you look like? How would you describe yourself?
Oh boy.
How do you
Just
look
running
like?
with my hands like this.
Yeah, but how do you look like generally? Like what do you wear, for example? Like what's the impression?
Yes. Long blonde hair and a red tunic, like my photo there, and just basic, basic clothes you would see on any well-dressed musician.
Okay, so this dude is running from the camp.
Okay.
I have that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean
Yeah.
where he's being chased down the beach.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
After you like seeing the camp here, you still got an action. Like, what do you plan to do, Helga?
I kind of forgot. Did Diog tell me about the prisoner they had? Did he see him?
I don't think we saw.
Okay, so this is the first time we see him. So I shout to my friend, in a hushed shout, I tell them, they have a prisoner, we must save him.
Must we?
I don't know about that one.
Starting good. Marcel will die.
He's getting away, but what if they follow him?
And that's enough like talk for a combat round.
Okay.
The next thing is like you see the elf here is like, intruders, get him! And then you see like the elf behind like, the prisoner! Oh, he's there! Like, stop it right now! That's like what you hear, Marcel. And like you see also like an arrow like basically shooting next to you. Like you're running and like an arrow is like it's shooting around. And like you see that like those elves, the Hera basically, you see that these elves actually have drawn the bows, and like this one goes into preparation here. This one just tries to get like over here, and like this tries to get next to the tree, and those are just like moving generally like something like that, And this one like just stood there, and this one goes like over here. And Efri, it's your turn.
I, in a bit of a gamble, just look around for a moment and then shout, I heck!
You're basically standing over like right
Yeah.
there. Okay.
I'm just like at the top of my voice shouting, lay down your arms, I heck! Just
Okay.
in case someone recognizes the name.
I want to do something interesting here because like you're standing very far like in the forest. Can you make an intimidation check just to see like how loud you can actually like scream into the forest?
Oh dear. This has to be good. 19.
19. Okay, that's pretty good. You scream into the forest, and then it's like the next combat turn. Diog, what do you want to do? You're standing here.
I want to draw my bow and arrow, my longbow, just prepare to be able to shoot, and turn around and try to cast Axi on the first elf I can see.
Let's see what's the range of Axi.
It's 15 feet.
15 is like 15 is kind of like the you and Herga, well, like what like kind of the span between you and Herga.
Okay, then I try to not cast Axi, but rather try to have my cover ready, take a deep breath, and then
you wait basically.
Realize that what Efri's try to do and wait.
Okay, you wait your turn. Okay.
Yeah.
Marcel, you just like saw the arrow like next to you like whoop. What are you going to do?
How many are shooting at me? It's there's 3 around me, right?
You
So
currently ran in this direction, and like from behind an arrow came like whoop.
okay.
You want to turn around? You want to? Okay.
I'm gonna keep running.
Okay, you basically
Zigzag. I'm zigzagging.
Okay,
Now I'm zigzagging.
okay, you're not that fast, but like you're probably waiting more. And you kind of like you reach the forest edge.
Okay, at this point, I've made it to the trees, so I'm a little bit safer
Yeah.
from.
The thing is, like,
getting
you were a bit
arrow.
slower because, like, here, like, you had to actually to climb a bit upwards because, like, this is like the
Okay.
area where it's like going upwards a bit. So you're like
Yeah.
ducking around, and that's what you do. Herga, you're standing here. What are you going to do?
Okay, so as the combat is starting to begin and the rage is building up inside of me, I shout, "Whose of you is Edenard? Give me back my Reina!" and I look at them because I remember the name from the letter.
Okay,
That
please
was the captain of the elves.
intimidation check as well.
Okay. 13.
13. Okay, you like from like your lungs, you're like, "Rah!" and like you basically tell them what you do. And then some of the elves roll combat, namely like there's an arrow like here, 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 and here, which are basically just aiming at you and like firing. You wanna go into rage as a reaction, or you just wanna hold off the rage for now?
No, I'm gonna full rage.
Okay, you're going full rage. You're like, ah! Makes the screaming even louder. Okay. Okay, first one hits. Second one hits. Third one doesn't hit. And the last one hits as well. So let's see. It just like add everything, and then you can half it if you want to. Okay, it's like 12 points of damage in total.
So that's what I have now.
Yeah, you can like half it.
Okay. Yeah.
As you basically see every one of you sees like 3 arrows like just in Helga, and Helga's like Rah! Totally ignoring it and like is standing there.
Why do I bother?
Basically. Then on the other hand, like you hear like an elf from behind saying something like, "What?" Like he's shouting something in Elvish, in the Elder tongue. Who can speak like the Elder tongue? Okay, so basically like Dirk and Effrey, you hear that he's talking something about like wait, like hold your weapons. And the problem is that like there's still like this one has still fired another arrow into the direction of Marcel and this one as well. So they're like, prisoner. So there's like 2 more arrows flying at Marcel, and this one hits, and this one hits as well. So 2 arrows like coming at you. And it's 8 points of damage. You basically like while you're running, you're like, and you see like one comes straight for your shoulder, and like one just hits you like in the leg, and you're just like staggering a bit and like falling to the ground for now. How much hit points do you have actually? Your hit points are the top left. You have 11 hit points.
Yeah, 11, yeah.
So that's basically nearly all of the hit points. So you're basically just and like dropping straight
good.
like to the ground.
Great.
Please just die immediately.
Don't forget to note your hit points though. Okay. Effrey, it's your turn. Like the elves, like the remaining elves, like you see some elves like shooting at Helga, but like you also notice like an elf, like the elves who are over here, and like the elf you see over here just like holds his bow for now.
Yeah, I dash forward into the path with my hands held up,
Okay.
kind of like saying, "We mean you no harm. We are not intruders."
Okay, you do that. Next combat turn. Dirk, like do you want to do something in your old combat turn, or are you like finished and just want to hold?
I wanted to ask one small technical detail, because I had, I think, 13 hit points and maximum 15. And then I did a long rest because of the tavern, and now it's 12-12 though.
It's 12-12.
All of our hit points went down because of a technical error.
Let me just see. I basically normalized the hit points. You're not at 12-12, yes. That's like maximum 12 hit points.
Okay, good. Then how visible is Quen? Like, do they... No, I just cast Quen on myself.
Okay, you're like
then...
showing the. Can you like please do the appropriate motion for Quen?
Oh, I can't. What is it again? It's something.
Is it that one?
That's Axie, like.
No.
Anyway, okay, you do the gesture for Quen, and like a bit of like a shimmering, like kind of like a magic shell kind of like appears around you, but like shimmery, so like you don't see it like on the first spot, but like it's definitely there.
Exactly, and then I take my bow that I had knocked and hold it up so everybody can see
Okay,
and
like-
start following Efri.
Okay, so basically moving up here as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Helga, you're full of rage. You got like 3 arrows in your body. What are you going to do? You see that like next to you, like Efri and Helga, like, wait, stop! Like he even holds his bow up.
Yes, I mean, I know what my character would do. I don't think he would hold back. But is there any kind of throw like I could do to like control myself? Because part of me realizes it is not the time to fight, but I've gone so far, almost over the edge. I'm not sure if I can hold this.
I think it's like go for wisdom. Go like try to do a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. This might be an important throw.
Yep.
I'm not making this up. Can you see this?
Oh, that's perfect. It's amazing. You're full of rage.
So,
Like
I'm
you-
completely full of rage.
you're full of rage. Like you need to hit something now.
Okay, so I forgot to click it here, but I equipped my hand axes instead, the throwing axes.
Okay.
And
go.
I have 2 of them. Can I throw only one or both of them? this
One.
time? If I don't move, only one. Okay.
No wonder you have 1 action, like 1 reaction, like movement, and maybe both
So
action.
yeah, I take my first axe and I throw it at the elf who spoke in Elvish because I hate everyone
Oh, wait.
speaking Elvish.
It's like
Is it too far away?
give me a second. Like I think the let me quickly check if it's a finesse weapon actually.
Sorry, you cut out.
I'm sorry. Like is it a finesse weapon?
Wait.
Hand axe.
It-
Simple
Hand
light.
axe is simple, light, thrown.
It's a light weapon. You can actually, if you want to attack with 2 light weapons, you can do it in 1 turn. You can go like fop fop.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I had the 2 axes in hand. I wanted to just like toss both of them at his face.
At which phase?
The one who spoke in Elvish.
This one, the leader.
Because everyone's speaking Elvish around me and
Yes.
I can't understand what they're saying.
Okay,
It
awesome.
frustrates me.
Good. Then go roll attack.
Alright. Can I combine this with a reckless attack?
I guess.
Oh wait, let me actually check if that's only melee.
Where
It's
is
the
it?
first attack on your turn. You can decide to attack recklessly, giving
Yeah.
advantage on melee.
Melee.
weapons.
Melee.
Ah,
It's melee.
got it. Yeah.
Sorry.
So, yeah. Okay. Then the first one is only a. What do I add? Do I add my dex to this?
You do. Let me. You can just equip it. Let me quickly equip it for you. It's like +5.
Oh, it's +5. So the first one is a 9,
Okay.
and the second one's a natural 1. Jesus.
Well, that's actually pretty okay. Basically, what's happening? Like the first hand axe is flying at the elf, but he's like graciously just avoiding it, and like the second hand axe is just like you throw it, and like immediately it hits Efri like right into the side.
No!
Oh my god, what?
The first damage I take in it.
Don't
So,
get
roll damage,
fire.
please.
a Skelliger and his enemies. That's what I'm saying.
Efri is half dead, I'm telling you right now.
So yeah, 1d6 plus 3 damage. Is what I'm
Oh no.
Where's my d6 there? I forgot how the d6 look like. But I can only look at these. Oh, wait, 1 4. 5 plus
Oh,
3.
How much hit points do you have?
Sorry.
Not very many left.
So you feel like a big pain in your side, like as an axe like goes right into it, and
Yeah.
please make a Constitution saving throw.
And this is a first for me as well. Efri does not know pain. Constitution.
Yes.
3.
Wow, perfect. Like you just fall straight unconscious.
Yeah. She doesn't even have time to process it.
You
It's
you just see like every one of you just sees like an axe into like Efri's body, and she's like just dropping like. Foop. I like the screen shake from your camera, by the way. It was perfect right now. Okay, awesome. So that's the situation. The elves are still like holding their arrows up, and like you see like the surprise on their faces, like as you just like hit your own Efri, and they're not trusting you. Like as they're coming near to you, and like you see like how all the bows are aimed at Helga at this point.
Yeah, rightfully so.
So there we go.
Makes sense.
They're
I am
coming
the
near.
danger.
You also see like these two elves are basically approaching, coming for Marcel at this point.
I appreciate you trying to hold back Crozyr, but
And the
It
elf,
wouldn't work.
the elf is approaching you, and he's like in common tongue. He's not speaking Elfish at this point. He's like restrain this mad boy, or like this madman. Restrain this madman.
I'm gonna shout to Herga, it's Calavandrel's friend. It's our friend.
Helga, since you actually hit the target last round, you're still raging.
I'm still raging. I can try to do another wisdom check.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Can I do any kind of intimidation check?
Yes, you can.
maybe Axie.
It's an 11.
Okay.
Got a 5 plus 2, so 7.
Okay. Also, please make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw, okay. So 14.
Okay. You're still raging, and like Diok from behind shouts at you, like what did you shout?
Oh, we cut off.
Sorry, what did you shout, Diok?
I said, they're Calavandrel's friends, so they're our friends.
Yeah, you hear that. You may choose to ignore it.
I may just ignore it. Oh, the pressure. I'm like, okay, I'm very confused, and I'm starting to go for my great axe, and I'm like.
And the elves are immediately like. The elves are like really like.
Yeah, and like that kind of provokes me a bit more actually, but it's like I'm like stuck in this motion. Like part of me really wants to go and charge at them, and the other part is being held back. So
Okay.
I guess we're buying us some time here, and the rage might fade away, right?
Yeah, if you wait a bit, like it calms down. Like you get picked up by two elves. Like your body is hurting a lot, Marcel. Like you're like 2 arrows. Like you're bleeding. And like basically they drag you back like into camp here. So
Nice try though.
you tried to run. That's not bad. And like the elf is like approaching you now, like seeing like he's like restraining his great axe. He is like you mentioned the name. Tell me. Like he's looking at like Effrey. Oh wait, she's actually down.
Effrey's unconscious.
She's like
Effrey can't-
he's nodding at the elves, and you're like take her. And like they basically like pick you up. Do you want to do anything against that? Like the elves like picking Effrey up?
Nope.
Okay. So basically they're just like pulling you back into camp as well. And he's looking at you like she said a name, like tell me again, like
We've been sent by Calavandrel.
he's
Do you
like
remember her?
he's like just like looking at you, and he's like huh?
She may have changed her name, but it's a beautiful elven woman that was traveling with us, and we've actually been companions for quite a while, and we share a long story. And she's turned sick, and she told us that we have to get something from this forest. We have to follow the lilies.
He's lifting his bow, looking at you, and he's like, "You're lying. You're the ones from the ship."
And I grab into my pants again, and I pull out this letter with trembling hands.
Okay.
Which is from her.
He's like looking at like one of the elves, and he's like nodding at the elf, and basically this elf is like slowly approaching you, grabbing the ladder, immediately jumps back basically, and goes straight to him, and like he gets the ladder in his hand. And let me quickly like put up the ladder again so I know exactly what's written in there. Give me a second. And there we go. There we have it. And he's like looking at the ladder, and of course now my image is not loading. There we go. And he's like, "Ihek. From where do you know Ihek?"
Well, we personally don't know Ihek, but we thought that this was the only chance to save our companion Calavandrel, who's turned sick, and she told us that we have to follow the white lilies to find her cure. And maybe you can help us. You're our only hope.
he's like looking at you a bit confused, and he's like nodding at the other elves, and like
And
yeah.
and then I'm trying to growl through my teeth as I slowly regain enough consciousness to actually talk again. Why are you holding this man prisoner? And where's Rhea? I know you have her.
He's like looking at you and he's like, sit. And like he nods to the other elf, and like he's basically going like back to the camp. Like he's not talking much, and he's like going to the not lit fire. Actually, it's not lit. This is like and like Effrey is actually putting put there as well. And there's actually like two elves are like taking to her wounds actually. These elves like move around, like are the camp and kind of like having like standing guard there. And like Marcel is actually also brought up there, and like another elf is taking care of his wounds. And you want like you probably going with him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oops, you're not bigger.
Authentic representation of her.
Okay. Basically, the elves are turning to your wounds, and Marcel, you like they like pulling the arrow out of your body, and like the elf is looking at you. You shouldn't run ever again, and like bandaging you a bit, like so actually bleeding stops, and you're like well, like it feels like he's knowing what he's doing. It's not the first arrow he pulled out of someone, it seems. The same is like
experience that they have with hand axes.
well, basically they pull it out as well, like an arrow. You don't feel anything,
No.
and they're doing the same thing as like Marcel, like just like stopping the bleeding, putting some pressure on it, like bandaging you, and like that's for first. Like actually, one elf actually grabs into his pockets and like has a bit like some white flowers in there, and like they rub it actually onto yours as well, and like bandaging that as well. And the elf sits just like kind of like kneels or like on next to the not lit bonfire, and he's like showing you to sit as well.
I'm standing there a bit with crossed arms, and I'm asking, can I pick up my hand axes first, please?
He's looking at you like, the one you shoot at your companion?
Did I? And I look at Effrey confused.
And he's like, sit.
I guess I follow his lead.
Okay. Dirk. You sitting as well? Like you're just...
Yeah, I will stand right next to Herger.
Okay. Okay, so basically you're standing there, but you're not sitting.
I'm not what?
You're not sitting, you're basically standing just there.
Yeah, having my hand on Herger's shoulder.
Okay. So like, the elf is like, he's still sitting, like he's trying to be very, how say it, civilized, and like he's talking now from the bottom up to you, and it's like, please, oh well, if you're not wanna be civilized, anyway, like what could I have expected? Like, just tell me, like you got this letter?
Yes, it's from a very close friend of ours. We were traveling together, and she told us that she's got a secret mission and she doesn't want to tell us, but she felt sick yesterday. Probably food poisoning because of the bloodied one that tried to poison her, I would assume. And she told us that the only way to save her is to fulfill this letter and follow the lead.
To the treasure.
Exactly.
He's laughing, and he's like, it's funny, you know, like I had never had any treasure. Like he never, I think he never laid eye on any gold piece, like ever in his life. But it's interesting that this letter brought you here. What, like he's looking over to Effrey, and he's like, what's the deal with her? Like she looks like this mage in the city, in the village. Like
yes, she looks similar, but she's. I don't think there's any reason to lie to you, so I'm just gonna be honest. And she's on her way to become a sorceress as well, if I remember correctly. And
She's
Like-
a dangerous witch, and she will turn all of you to ashes if you dare to lay a hand on us again.
he's basically like looking up, like, and like you see like the Skratel like already like grabbing the weapons again, and like and are having the weapons at the ready. And she's like how are you affiliated with the lady in the village? Tell me now.
I
With
wish
the
I
lady
was
of what?
conscious.
Of the village.
Of the village. Well, we met her the first time yesterday, or a few of us, Calavandra, for example. But we've got a feeling that there might be something wrong with her. And we were told that she cast a spell over the town, that no elf could enter the town. And
As you hear that, like you see us all like elves around you like have a little smirk on their faces, and they're like some of them actually laughing out, and like also the leader like is currently like is really like smiling at you, and it's like, go on.
can I do an inside check?
Yes.
16.
Okay, it's pretty good. Like, basically, like you can read their faces. Like they actually find like really funny that like what you currently told them, and there's also a bit of relief in as you can see on her on his face.
And I think we can tell you even more if I can just quickly see if I can help my friend Effrey here, and maybe get her conscience again.
And she's with you. She doesn't belong to this Trisha.
No. She traveled with us. She traveled with Calavandrel, and she met the Trisha. Trisha was her name the first time yesterday as well.
Why did you come here anyway?
Oh, I am just joining Herger on a heroic mission to defeat a terrible monster.
He's raising
Come
his
to make my name legend.
he's raising his eyebrow, and he's like, monster.
Yes, we've heard there was a werewolf in the vicinity of the, I think it was somewhere down south.
South.
Hyena.
Hyena. And he's like, he's shaking his head, and he's like, get her up. Both of you, Marcel and Effrey, you can actually roll a 1d6 plus your Constitution modifier, and that's like the hit points you will regain from their treatment.
I rolled a natural 1.
Well, it's still whatever. What is your Constitution modifier?
0.
Wow, you got 1 hit points back.
Oh my god.
Yay! Am I conscious?
Yes, they're actually slapping you a bit in the face, and you're like, ugh. And the same with you, Marcel. Like you're actually feeling it's really like whatever they did like to your wounds, it's helping. How much hit points did you regain? Sorry? You're muted.
Ooh, sorry about that. I rolled a 1 as well. So,
What's your
yeah.
your Constitution
And
modifier?
my constitution is 0, so I rolled a 1.
Oh, both. Okay, well, the treatment did the exact same thing for you both. You got some hit points back, and now, but you have been unconscious anyway. Like, how? Like, do you wanna like join the conversation, or just wanna like stay still for now, Marcel?
I'm just gonna listen.
Okay.
Effrey, I haven't experienced that kind of pain before, so I think Effrey has to take a moment to get her bearings, and again make sure that she's not showing it too much in her expression before like asking.
Well, make a
what
deception
happened?
modifier before you do that.
A deception.
Yes, please.
Uh,
Deception check. I'm sorry.
17.
That's pretty good. Like you actually like you masked your pain pretty well, and like you're approaching him with.
Yeah. I asked what happened.
And like he's looking at you, and he's like, your comrade threw an axe at you. Does this happen
kind of-
often?
I threw an axe at you. That must be a mistake. The elf. It was the elf. He threw the axe.
Effrey keeps her expression completely stony, kind of sighs through her nose, looks at Herger, looks back and says, actually no, she looks at Deoch and says, Remember when I said about living to regret your decision? Then, like, sits up and, like, stretches until it hurts, and then, like, tries to make herself comfortable again, and says, I'm assuming you're the leader of this commando.
And he's like, that's right. And if you can check his name, I'm Aidenet. What's your name?
You're mentioned in our letter. My name is Lady Effrey of Sintra.
Sintra. So you're tied to the Lotharians.
I was born before the invasion, and haven't been home for a long time.
Perception check, please.
Perception?
Yes.
20.
20. Okay. Well, as he talks about Nilfgaardian, you see as like his eye just like for a very, very, very sleek moment just turned to Marcel and just right back at you again.
I glance at Marcel as well.
And I just wave.
Yeah, you're like and he's looking at you. Does he belong to you? I mean, you came from the north. Like, do you know him?
We don't. Unless we do. Unless we recognize him from shit.
Nah, not really.
No, in that case, no, I shake my head. I say we came to Windbruck for a number of reasons, but for one, to find our colleague Ray here, who we travelled southwards with from Maribor.
Rare here.
She was kidnapped by your...
One of
colleague.
your kind.
He's like, look, his eyes go a bit wide and he's like, ah, yes, the big lady. Yeah,
exactly.
we remember.
What happened to her?
Well, she's not with us anymore. He's looking at you, and he's like, how do I put this? Like, how? He's like, he's breaking up again, and how good do you know the village of Windbruck? Does it mean anything to you?
Absolutely zero, to be honest.
A
And
little, but not much.
okay, and he's looking like, yeah,
The
Gwynblade.
life of innocence.
Can I do a inside check when
Yes,
you ask
sure,
that?
every time. Like, just tell me when you want to do an insight check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20, perfect. Like he's like looking at you, and he's like, you see him wrestling with himself. Like he's like currently trying to, like, he obviously wants to say something, but he's like not sure like what to make of you yet. And like this, you see this like back and forth in his head, and like trying to advance, but at the same time he's like pulling it back, and yeah.
Can I ask a... it's leading to a role, but I'm not entirely sure how to phrase it, because it's kind of a meta question as to whether I would think about it. Does Effrey perhaps have enough knowledge to make a connection between Nilfgaard and the Scoia'tael?
History, please.
I should be good at that.
You should.
Why did I say it? Why? I roll a 7.
7. Well, like what you heard are rumors, and like what the common folk says is that like Nilfgaard like hired the Scoia'tael to terrorize the north. That's like what you heard. But like what you also learned in your school is that rumors, like sometimes they have like a little bit of truth in it, but mostly they're exaggerated, and like the folk just like tell them for for fun or for bad mouthing people. So you think it's just like proper racism. You don't know.
Okay, then I don't bother to ask.
He's like looking at you, Dirk, again. He's like, does the mage know you here?
In the forest?
Yes.
No.
He's looking at the other elves, and he's like, please sit.
To the elves or to us?
To you.
To me.
To,
All right,
to
I
you,
sit
the
down.
group. Helga, you sitting as well, or?
I think
did
he was
have a
sitting,
chance
right?
to get my accent
Oh, you're
back?
sitting. Never mind.
Yeah, okay.
Do
Okay.
you know Trisha?
He's like lighting up like a little smoke, and he's like, oh, if I know her, of course we know her. She's keeping us trapped like over a year now. We just trapped. She cursed us. She put a spell on us. I don't know. Like I'm no mage. You know this oh god, how is it called? I should actually write it somewhere down. Give me a second. Wait, give me a second. I forget my own NPC names. It's
Creations.
yeah. So IHack. You know IHack? You know what happened to him?
We don't. We just know his name through Calavandra.
We can't leave the forest. Like as soon as we don't do the bidding of the mage, like we transform. As if you don't like bring her new people, like let's say every 2 weeks, like we transform. IHack, like he was the first. Like I just like had enough. At some point,
Transform into what?
transformed. Oh, it looks not good. I can tell you. Like it was like as a wolf took over him. Like I've seen a werewolf. This was no werewolf. Like when he turned, like you see his like hands like just grew longer. He grew claws. He grew like a big mouth. Like hair came all over his body. He grew in size, and like we actually like he turned against like his own folk. We tried to fend him off, and like yeah, and then he escaped. Like he just made he made his way south, and then she told us like if we don't do her bidding, like that's what all of us like that's what will happen with all of us, and she took my wife in addition. Like you see, like we're bound to this foul mage.
What is a condition? Like what do you have to do?
Condition? Rob people, like stay out of the village. Bring her new underlings. Like the more underling, the better. If you find a gnome, wow, we get like a month of free time. We find a dwarf, 2 weeks. Worst case, we need to sacrifice one of our own.
This is where you brought Rhea.
Yeah, that was my question too.
Rhea here? Well, we have not been sure. Like Rhea here, like looked so different. Like so, yeah. Like we brought Rhea here to her.
How do you
slap
get
my
into...
fist on the table?
How do you meet with Trisha?
Trisha? Well, first of all, like, can we count on your help?
To do what?
Can I do some kind of
Get rid of this mage. We wanna be free again, and this like we wanna get rid of this damn village. Like we wanna just like we don't wanna hear any more of it. Like we just wanna solve the situation and be gone and like just do whatever we want again. I wanna get my wife back.
I feel I should warn you, Elf, that sorceresses are not in the habit of being ordered around by anyone.
Is this a threat or? Like
No, well, it's. I mean it to say that it's going to be difficult to convince Trisha to do anything.
Okay, so like you don't threat him, so to say.
No,
Okay.
I'm not threatening anything myself. I'm warning him that Trisha is not going to be easy to deal with.
He's like, oh, like with Trisha, there's only like one way we can deal with her, and that's an arrow to her heart.
Would an axe to the face suffice?
That works as well.
We'll see.
And you're saying she took your wife? She took Rhea? She took all these people that you had to kidnap for her?
Yeah, we have never seen them again.
Do you know what she does to them?
I have no idea, but like she needs, as I said, like she needs new people like every 2 weeks. To be honest with you, I don't think they will see the light of day again.
And you're saying when we kill her, then your curse will be lifted as well?
Well, I know nothing about magic, but she issued a curse. And if there's like one common sense you have about curses is you kill the one who spoke the curse and you're free.
Let me give you two options here. So we've also got a sorceress with us, right? So maybe we can figure something out to lift the curse without her knowing it, and you are just free to leave, and you can look for your wife. And if that doesn't work, then because you let us live, we'll try to. Well, you know what to do. You know where I'm going at.
But dear, when if this man speaks the truth, then there's a treacherous witch in this poor village.
Yes,
Yeah, we'll
it
have to
is.
see what she does to the people, and
Don't be so
I mean,
quick.
He's
Don't-
standing up like
She's forcing these Scoia'tael elves or whatever you call yourself. She's forcing them to kill people. Are you killing? Would you still keep killing people if we freed you of your curse?
we. No, we would just make it like we would just like get out of here. We'd just be on our way.
Insight check, please.
You can, yeah, sure.
Oh, I need to go back to my character.
I also want to do like in general check if I believe them or not.
Mhm.
'Cause I would.
I
say
rolled a
so.
7.
Where is insight? Insight is +4.
Got 18.
23.
Okay. When he says like he doesn't speak, he doesn't lie to you when he says like they want to be on our way, but you feel there's like rage in him, like deep rage.
There's an every possibility that they'll just burn Windbruck to the ground before
That's
they go.
up to you to decide if that's what he meant with that. And he looks at Marcel and like he is looking at like you and he's like, "What's with you? Like, how do you stand in this?"
If I may interrupt, perhaps we can come to a little arrangement here. This motley crew with your little predicament. Maybe we can come to a little arrangement. Maybe let me go and help them out, and then I can come back and talk to you.
Question. Are you very obviously Nilfgaardian? Like accent-wise? Are you hiding it?
No,
No? Okay.
not obvious. It's not obvious.
He's hiding it pretty well.
You're hiding it pretty well. Alright.
There's no sign of Nilfgaard in here.
Is it somehow
Well-
apparent that he's a bard because it says so in this little avatar picture?
No,
Is it
so
apparent? Okay.
Like in this current situation, you just see like he's well dressed. That's the only thing you probably can see.
What is
How
your
did you end
name?
up here?
Yeah, that too.
Well, that's none of your business, is it? But I am here.
Well, it will be our business if you want to join us in our crew.
Look, I'm offering my help, and
what would that help
I think
look
it's in
like?
your best interest to maybe let me help you.
Actually, Aidenat is like reaching to his knife and he's like just cutting you free with one stroke.
And how does
Who
that
did that?
help look like? Mr.
Wait, somebody cut me free? Is that what you said? You
Yeah,
cut-
Aidenat actually just like cut you free with one strike of his dagger. Take it.
Oh. Can I use a little spell here?
Of course you can.
I would like to. Do a high pitched C on all of the, on all the elves around us.
Okay. Like you don't make it better for yourself if you are openly hostile right now.
Hmm?
You can do that, but open like hostile actions against like everyone around you is probably not the smartest decision. Just
No,
like
no, I'm not trying to be hostile towards them. I'm just
Okay.
trying to get myself completely out of this situation.
okay, sure.
What is the high pitch C do?
So like, describe what you do currently. What do you do?
My high pitch C is basically a note that I yell, and
He's-
it disables everybody around me for a little
He's
while.
he's singing very loudly. He's like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
And every one of you, please make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, Jesus.
I rolled wait.
10.
Just tell me if you succeeded.
What was
How do we know? How do we know?
Oh, you just need to be lower than like your Constitution. Wait, let me give a second. Oh, actually, sorry, I have it here. Like my bad. Like, I have the saving throw right here. Just tell me the number.
8.
8?
14.
14?
10.
10. So Diok, you're like, you immediately like shut your ears, and you're like, you're fully there. Helga and Effie on the other hand, like, you hear like this high note, and you're like, and you're like distracted for like a split of a second. And like some of the elves are like the same thing. Aidenat is just like totally unaffected by you. He's like just looking at you, and you don't know about all the elves, but like you see it has some effect on the people around you.
Is that the help you're offering?
Massive, what are you going to do? Like you just like
nothing
finished.
happens to the elves? Did you say nothing happens to the elves?
No. Some of the elves are affected by it. Aidenat in front of you is actually like just like looking at you, and you don't know about the elves like around you, like for example behind you.
Yeah. Okay. Did my hands or just what got cut free? My hands or did my
everything.
feet get cut free as well?
Like
Everything got cut free.
you just got cut, your feet were already untied by yourself, and your hands were now just cut free by Aidenat.
Yeah. Could I hide behind Herger?
Yes, you can.
All right, so I run behind Herger and I hide behind him.
Oh, also what I forgot is like Marcel, please roll damage.
Okay.
1d6.
Wait, which one is that?
1d6, like 1 6-sided dice.
Yeah. 3.
Okay, that's like Helga and like Effie. This is like damage you currently take.
Wow.
What?
Yes.
Well, I'm
Every-
making a death saving throw.
So you see like Effie's like and she's like whoop, like falling down again, like just like falling straight to the ground.
God damn it.
It's like really a pain like in your head. It's like and you're like and just passing out again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's trying to hide behind me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, So I'm trying to grab him and like give him a smack on the ear for payback. Like
Sure.
what was that?
Make an unarmed attack.
Unarmed attack. Okay.
Mhm.
It took precisely 3 episodes for us to evolve into friendly fire antics.
Well, that had to be the Nilfgaardian.
18.
You don't
is
know.
a hit.
18 hits for sure. So you can now decide like just like to not do damage or really just like or
Yeah,
to hit him hard.
Bludgeoning damage is I want to do non-lethal damage.
Um,
It says it's just straight out 4 damage, but I'm not sure. Like I don't want to kill him. That's
Yeah,
not
you
my
can-
intention. I just want to give him like
Yeah, then you just do like pop and you like
yeah.
and Marcel you just get like a slap right in the face like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm aiming for the ear, like to know how that feels to get such a sharp tone. And I'm like, never do that again.
and you get hit. So
Okay, great. Well, I was only at 1, so.
you're at one hit point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's fine. Like you see like the stars like around you, like, but you're not passing out. But like you really like you have nausea and like you're really like oh shit like.
And I turn around to the elves and I ask, what kind of mushrooms have you been feeding him that he acts like this? We just saved this man's life. He would never act like. And you're saying we can save Rhea if we go to the town right now, and we cut that sorceress in half.
Yeah, to be honest, you should be fast if you want to save her. And he's looking at Effie, and I'm not sure if like it's the smartest to go right now. Like she's like the elves like tend to you again, basically.
When, like, how many days ago did you bring Rhea to Trisha?
I think like it was last night.
Last night.
Last night.
And how did you meet?
He's looking at Marcel, and he's like, I think, dear sir, you now need to do. You now have a choice. What shall it be? You wanna help us or you wanna die?
Well, I think the obvious answer is I'm going to help you, isn't it?
And he's
I
like,
give him a pat in the shoulder, and I'm like, the more the merrier. I want this man with us if he can make sounds like this for enemies.
he's like looking at her again, like it's your responsibility from now on, like to look after him.
Good luck.
And he's like, Okay, look. At midnight, like a tunnel opens. Like a tunnel. It's like north of Windbruck. There's like a next to a tree. There's like an underground tunnel like straight to a tower, but it only opens at midnight.
Every midnight?
Every midnight.
And then you just push the person in there, or do you actually travel to the tower?
Well, we actually travel to the tower.
So you know the insides.
I know the underground tunnel. Yes, I've never been farther.
Okay.
And he's like a little bit sad when he talks to you.
And you know what Tusha looks like?
Oh yes, I do.
Can you maybe just do a short description?
He basically describes like the description fits exactly what every knows like saw about her. Like, he just curled up hair, black hair, like a sorceress dress with ornaments.
Okay. Well, I think the best option would be if we could make our way back to the town, gather our strength, and then prepare a plan. What do you think about that?
I would like to come with you. Like if we going to rescue my wife, then I'll be with you.
My only
Okay,
condition
so-
is that I am the one who kills the witch. I meant to come here to kill beasts, and we are still too far away to fulfill this. But I want it to be sung from the roofs that I killed the one who laid terror over this land. That is my condition.
How about we meet tomorrow afternoon when the sun is right above the trees, and then we bring our elven friend and we first scout some more information in the town. And I heard that tomorrow's Tuesday, so she should be in the open as well. So then we'll join you in the forest, and then we'll come up with a plan on how to go further. Maybe we can already fix this this whole magic situation with Lothari, with Effri right here, our sorceress. If she can just get some rest and maybe read some more texts about it.
Okay.
Do I need to make a death saving throw?
No, you're taking care of the elves.
No.
No. Basically, like he's looking at you, and he's like spitting into his hand, like, do you have your word?
Yes.
Okay, he's checking, and like the other elves like lower like the weapons they had actually like after Marcel like did the thing, headed up again, and they're like some of them are actually sitting down. If you help us, well, maybe we can actually share some reward with you as well. We got some
That is very
trinkets, trinkets. Like maybe some of them like could be worth your while.
I think the treasure that this sorceress hides in her castle will be more than enough for us all.
Let's murder and pillage.
And I scream, yeah!
Okay, so like every like gets taken care of, the elves like just wakes up, but you just have 1 hit point. Like
1 hit point. So I have a question about how D&D Beyond works.
Yes.
My hitbox has become a skull. How do I change that back?
I think you just need to say heal and
I
add.
don't have a heal or a damage option anymore. It's just a skull and then the failure and the success.
Oh, you just tick
boxes.
tick your 3 successes and it should be fine.
Aha, I see. Okay.
Oh, you have a skull. It's actually really nice.
One. Light changes. Cool. Okay. HP management done.
Okay, perfect. So you wake up and like what's the common like what do you want to do? Like how you want to
I
approach?
thank them for bringing me back.
And
But I was unconscious, so I don't know what's happened. I guess I ask again, what happened?
what you see is also like there's a big like hand mark on Marcel's face, like a reddish hand outline.
Then I say to Marcel, an interesting talent that you have there.
You decided to sing us a song.
A useful talent.
Quite. I would
Well-
ask before we part ways, if we are to part ways, that some patience be considered in the matter of Trishavar, what's her last name? Strept.
We're going to meet tomorrow. Tomorrow, in like when the sun is high. I'm going to prepare my best weapon, and then we find my wife, or we'll die in the process. If we have like waited too long, the problem is just like I can't send a man, like like if the curse hits again, like I don't want to endanger her. Like
Give me the day to reach a non-violent solution.
he's like
Can I
I am to be Lady Trishavar Strep's student over the coming time, and therefore I have rapport with her. I do not currently have enough information. I am not condoning these kidnappings, but nor can I ignore the vast amount of healing experience that she has brought to Windbruck. So I ask you politely, to let me consider a non-violent solution to this matter.
he's like looking at you. I don't think there's a violent solution, like a non-violent solution for this, and I think there cannot be. Also, like I think it's your friend, we captured. I'm not sure if she will survive it.
That's our concern and not yours, isn't it?
Speaking of friends, if we're to bring this fellow with us, with his beautiful voice, first of all, will you tell us your name real quick?
The name is Marcel. Pleasure.
All right, that's all I needed to hear. Would you maybe mind giving us some ropes so we could muffle him? So he doesn't do the same old trick when we are out of reach.
Can I quickly ask, are there still white lilies around?
Not here. Like the last lilies were like they're basically still falling north by the big oak tree.
Okay, never mind.
Well, do you have some rope, Mr. Elf?
Yes, we have some rope. Like, sure. Like, but is he your prisoner now, or like?
Well, he's not our prisoner, but I mean, we first have to get on equal terms and see if he's actually a trustworthy fellow that we can.
Good. Get on equal terms. As soon as you're on equal terms, you can leave this camp. Until then, if you're not on equal terms, like you leave or he leaves. Probably you leave.
If I may, binding me up here. I'm not your prisoner, so perhaps just stifling my voice maybe doesn't put me in a nice, really trusting area to help you.
Yeah, that's a good point right there.
What do you think, Afri?
No one asks Herger. Why?
I'm still hiding behind Herger, by the way.
I look around.
And I was saying, friends, Marcel, he paid the price. I gave him a good ringing in the ears, and I think he's not gonna do this again.
Listen to the big man.
Right, Marcel? And I look at him.
I believe there is ample reason to distrust Marcel, but we also find ourselves at an impasse where we need all the help we can get, frankly. Particularly now that I am not at my best. Giving a dark, glaring look at Herger.
And I look away, ashamed.
Aidenat is like nodding, and he's like saying something in Elvish, like those of you who can like understand Elvish. He's like, yeah, give this man his gear back, and like two elves start off like going like into the chests which are behind, and they actually bring a loot and some like a backpack with some equipment, and like they bring it to Marcel.
Oh, and Herger sees this and he's like, Marcel, are you a skald? And with big glaring eyes.
Yes, if I'm a what? If I'm a scout? Is that what he asked me?
A scald.
Scout? Well, I am just a traveling bard, my friend. I can play you a beautiful tune from your homeland, though, if you'd like.
Oh, I will give you great material for stories of all kind. You can sing them in all the taverns from here to Vizima.
Well, you're in luck, my friend, for I have traveled from lands afar. In fact, I have been to Skellige myself, and I shall sing you tales that will warm your heart and remind you of your homeland.
And I like grab him and I like scour his.
What's sorry? What's the elf's name?
Aidenat.
I turn to Aidenap and I ask him one more time. I ask politely for tomorrow, one day before we meet at midnight, to sort things out with Trisha. And as I do so, if I can, I cast a minor illusion to make myself look a little more intimidating.
Oh, you can cast Minor Illusion, but Minor Illusion, I think, is changing your how you look, so to say. No, Minor Illusion. This is not the right spell. What you probably
Not
would
the right
need.
spell?
No, you would need
Can I
disguise
charm
yourself.
him instead?
Charm person. Yeah, you can try.
I'll charm person instead.
But like it has like verbal and like like people around you probably would see that you cast like so like he.
Then I just use my natural charm.
Okay. So typically, like if you charm a person, the person like which is the victim like doesn't really realize it, but like all the others around could, if they like know what this is,
I just like I naturally try to come across as a little more insistent then that I have some time to talk to Trisha before my colleagues just try to murder her with great prejudice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how he responds to that. I say to him again once more. I do say that sorceress.
We'll meet tomorrow after the sun goes down. Gives you a bit extra time. But like I don't like it's futile. I can tell you.
I'll do what I can.
Sure. Goody.
May we leave together now?
Yeah,
Sure.
let's leave. Let's have an ale.
I need a bed.
I need to hear what your voice can do if it's actually
Yes, give
well trimmed with the nail.
yeah, give this man
yes.
some ale to moisten his throat, and then
Okay.
you can sing us a ballad of the brave Herger.
I shall regale you of tunes once I've kicked back a few ales.
Okay. So you're looking terrible, by the way. Like Karga like has still some bounce to there. Effie is basically like her whole side is like, it's not bleeding. It's like actually bandaged, but it's it looks terrible. And Marcel also like has doesn't look the greatest. The only one who's really like up his like alley is like kind of like Diog. I'm fine. And so you want to go back to the village.
Yeah, but I want to stress just before people say I don't have these anymore. I want to get back my hand axes.
You can do it.
Stressing this.
Yeah,
I'm collecting them.
You pick
And-
back. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you pick up your hand axes and then.
Yeah, and as I see the one that is bloodied with the blood of poor Effrey, I guess nobody's seeing me, but if you could see my face in that moment, you see like deep regret and guilt, and yeah.
And I try to pick up that arrow that started the whole situation from the tree.
It's not in the tree.
No, I know. It's on the ground and it's a bit bloody because it was stuck in an elf's foot.
You don't find it anymore. Like.
Damn it. All right.
If like I think I'm probably leaning on Dioch a little bit for support, and as we leave the camp, if it's like the scene ending on the television show of this story, it's like Effrey leaning into him and saying, "Next time, don't miss."
And with that, you make your way back to the village.
Yeah, but I would like to pluck some white lilies as we go.
You can do that.
As nobody sees me though, I fall back a bit and then I pluck some white lilies.
Okay. You do that. Like you pick some white lilies, you add it to your inventory, and then we're making our way back to Windbruck. And I just need to quickly hide all these elves again from the.
So many elves. The spell has been broken.
Dum, da-dum, da-dum. So it's actually not that late. You didn't travel too long, so it's probably actually just afternoon, or like let's say 3 or something in the afternoon. We didn't need more time. And Diog is missing. There you go. And there's a forest. Why is there a forest? Wait, give me a second. Where is my forest? There's my forest. And it's gone. Okay, there you go. like 3 in the afternoon or something, like you're coming from north again, like back to Windbruck. There's still no like the lumber mill and the lumber yard is still empty. Like there's no one in there. And generally, there's not too much going on in the city. But if you make your way into the city, you hear like the smith as he's like smacking his hammer on the anvil, like in like dong, dong, and like there's some peasants on the street, but like it's not a big village. So what are you going to do?
I would like to head for the inn.
Okay.
I would like to, I guess, also escort Effie to the inn.
Okay. Marcel, you're joining them at the inn.
I would as well like to go to the inn since I, I'm on the verge of death here.
So as you enter like the inn, there's again no one really in the inn, and you see like the lady innkeep, like just like polishing some glasses, and as she sees you, she's like, "Oh God, Bogdan!" And like,
it's all right. Don't panic.
And Bogdan comes rushing in and he's like, "Ah, Bogdan is here for, oh my, like, what happened to you? Like, do you need anything?"
Words of wisdom, Bogdan. Don't ever go into the forest.
And he's like, his eyes go wide and like, why would you be to the forest? Wrong, anyway.
Well, we found a new companion, I guess.
And he's thirsty. Bring us some ale,
Yes.
Bogdan.
He's like looking.
Ale would be lovely.
He's like looking at you. He's like, "Oh, okay," and turns around and like back into the kitchen.
Okay, let's sit, everybody. Let's eat something.
If you wouldn't mind, Dioch, I could use some rest, please. Take me to my room.
Of course.
Okay, so Effie goes to her room. He brings 4 ales for 3 people.
Excellent, I grabbed 2.
Okay, you come back like Dirk, and like you see these 3 people sitting on there.
Alright, I join them then.
Bogdan is like standing next to the table and is like Bogdan really wants to know like what did happen to you?
Elves.
Elves, it was hundreds of them. And they all came rushing at me. You can see the wounds in my shoulder where they tried to hit me with their arrows. But I stood strong. Right, Marcel and Dioch? I slew at least 20 of them. And we
You should
made
have
our way
seen
back.
him.
But-
It was worth 1,000,000 songs.
A towering, thunderous man.
But why the forest door? Like, are you mad?
We saw these white lilies and they looked so pretty, so I decided to collect some, and I show him some white lilies.
He's like, yeah. Bogdan sees like they're beautiful, but like promise me like you don't go into the woods again. Like you just get killed.
Alright, Bogdan. I think you're right. We should have listened to your advice earlier.
Yes, Bogdan is a very wise man. You should have listened to Bogdan.
But Bogdan, aren't you a dragon slayer yourself? Shouldn't you know better?
Yes, I know. I'm a dragon slayer, but like I'm still not going alone against like 30 elves into the forest.
You
You have to be smart. Bogdan is smart. You, not so much.
Maybe Bogdan, can you maybe also? I mean, you're so smart. Can you also get us some food as well to this area?
Bogdan can bring us some food, and he's like, give me a second. Where are we? And he's like, Iva, porridge. And he's like going into the kitchen.
So while we're sitting at the table, can we take a short rest?
Yeah, you can like rest and like just wait until the evening if you want to do.
Do I have enough knowledge from reading a quarter of that book to do anything for myself? put myself in a slightly better position.
You can like try to like look at the healing part and like try to like decipher some like try to decipher like the components of the spell. You heard like about like cure wounds earlier, but it's like you can try to like cast something and see.
I recognize that it's not a spell I know, but if like trying to learn something on the fly, Effrey feels a great need to gain herself as much time as possible to fix this without Trisha being murdered.
You can try to roll an Arcana roll and see what you get. How you can improvise.
Arcana +5. I only got a 13.
You're trying to yourself at like this cure wounds thing, but you're a bit like you don't really know what to trust. Like there are the notes on the side, and there's like what stays in the book, and you're trying to read the book, but then you read like this notice on the side, and you still feel the need to try this out because it's like written with 3 exclamation marks, and as you try to combine it like the spell just like disappears and like nothing happens.
Okay, well then I go for a long rest.
Okay, well, you rest and like you sit there, you eat, you drink, and at some point like the sun slowly starts getting down, and like it's probably now something like 8 or something, and you basically spent like the whole afternoon in the tavern like talking, and that's when like the first guests arrive to the tavern, and like the tavern slowly starts to fill.
For my long rest healing, I rolled a 6.
Okay.
How old do you look, Marcel?
Not really. Maybe quarter life. You know, maybe early 30s.
Then while you're drinking your ale, I guess you still have your loot near you, right?
I do.
Then I roll a sleight of hand and try to grab it.
Yeah,
What?
You can do it. And at the same time, Marcel, please do a perception check.
An 8.
Okay.
Is that the 20? Did I roll a 20?
That's the 20? You rolled a 20.
No. I was asking if that's the one.
Yes, that's the one. And then you add like
I only rolled a 3.
a 3, and
Wow,
like
this might just work.
and the perception is +0, as you can see. So like you staying there, and like Duke, you basically just grab the loot, and like Marcel doesn't even notice anything. He's just drinking currently like an ale or something.
Perfect. So I grab the loot, and obviously I don't want to hurt the loot. I treat it like a very delicate instrument, and I just play just 1 or 2 notes and ask him, so how did you end up in the hands of these elves?
Well, I could ask how you ended up with my loot in your hands.
Well, yes, you could. Where did you get this loot? It looks wonderful.
This has been my loot for many generations in my family, and I would be very nice if you were very, very careful with it. I don't mind that you play, but please do not break the loot.
Oh, sure thing. I'll give it back to you immediately. I just wanted to see how much how do you say that? Like how scared you are about your loot, like how close your relationship to your instrument is, basically. Like if you've got it for a longer time, and I give it back to you with a bit of an excusal look on my face. No harm meant.
Glad you didn't try to break it. Thank you.
Okay, like the room starts to fill. Like Bogdan is actually now very busy, and also his wife is now coming from the kitchen more and more, and they're actually giving out like stews, and they're giving out ales. And as you can see, like the woodcutters are there again. Like there's even like Alfred from the guard is sitting with the woodcutters. There is like no sign of the guard captain right there, but like other people you don't recognize are sitting in the tavern as well. And like it's simply like the situation grows merrier and merrier.
So after I've rested, I come back down from my room, still like fully dressed, proper sorceress.
Yeah, but like you have like this blood stain like on the side, like it's it's torn.
Still,
And
is it not healed?
the dress.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. I just pretend it there and like walk with as much confidence as I can over to their table. Sit back down again and say to them, I intend to meet with Trisha this evening. If we are to meet with the elves tomorrow evening, I wish for as much time as possible to put this behind us without us coming to blows with Trisha Vastrat.
Are you sure you can handle her yourself?
No. But sorceress to sorceress, I hope that maybe we can come to an agreement that does not end in bloodshed.
I think if
I meant what I said in the forest. I don't condone what she's done, but also I cannot ignore the great strides she's making medically, particularly for this village, and I can't help but think that there is probably a connection between the two. I wish for the chance to talk to her before we go in, all axes blazing, so to say, and look over at Herger again.
Well, I think if there's any truth in what the elf captain said, then there can be no mercy.
I have no doubt in my mind that he believes what he said. But in any kind of conflict, there is very little objectivity. And we have the chance that, there is very little objectivity, and we have the chance to be that objective set of eyes. We'd be fools not to take the chance and use it. You're welcome to accompany me now that we know how to reach the tower.
That's why I turned to Marcel and asked him.
You must promise to behave.
Yeah. I asked him if he actually, do you actually intend to actually do something here and help us, or are you just happy that you got out? Because this would be the moment where we could part ways. Or are you actually inclined?
I am inclined to help you because I need to convince these elves that I am not on the bad side here. So by me helping you, you're actually helping me.
I like this guy, and I give him like a thumb.
Well, that was a bit complicated for me, but I trust you now.
And what of it, Marcel? Are you to be honest with us completely?
Absolutely, I have no reason not to be. In fact, to celebrate this newfound friendship, I would like to regale everyone with a nice song with the family lute that our new friend here so handsomely tried to play himself. And I will show you the skills I have. Perhaps a new song. A song from Skellige for our
If
our
I
new
might
Skellige
be
friend here.
so bold to interrupt.
I rolled a 10
No.
on inside.
No, I want to bang on the table with my meat and then shout, everyone, a song.
Yeah.
He sounds honest, Dirk. He sounds honest.
Questions later, songs first.
Okay. So you play a song.
Go ahead.
Yes. No, I'm not gonna actually really do it. But yes, I play a nice
Yeah.
song.
You can roll performance.
Okay.
Except you want to play a special song.
I'm gonna play a special song. Yes. Well, I supposed to roll the 20 because this is ridiculously high.
Yeah, you should.
Okay. Well, I got 25.
That is amazing. Did you roll a natural 20?
Yeah.
So if you roll a natural 20 or natural 1, that's like two extreme cases. One always fails and it always fails spectacularly, while a natural 20 always hits and always hits marvelously. So like there's something really cool you're going to do now. You're just playing a song, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can just describe like what you're doing and how it how people react to it, because you're doing very, very well.
Yes, I decided to tell the tale of my new Skellige friend of his homeland, and it starts nice and easy, and then starts to pick up as we go along, and he starts to recognize it. Perhaps I'm trying to play one that he might traditionally know, and as he said, he gets really excited, right? So I get the whole bar into it, and we're all the whole tavern is in. We're all singing. And we're all enjoying each other.
Even Efri, who didn't want it to happen, has a smile on her face.
Yeah, you feel very enthusiastic. It's like it's really catchy. You're like, wow.
So it's a happy song.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm growling.
it's a very happy, jaunty tune of battle victories, of Skellige battle victories.
Some folk from the tavern actually sing with you, and like and like they sing along. And after you finish the song, actually one of them like is like, Bogdan, bring this man a beer.
After the song, while everyone's applauding, I lean in as close as I can to Marcel and in Nilfgaardian say, "Well done."
I just remained quiet.
Efri leans back, just staring him down.
And I cheers you with my with my beer.
Okay. So that went well. Like basically, like the mood in the tavern significantly improved. There are actually some strangers, like from tavern, actually approaching you, Marcel, and like, that was so good. Like, can you do another one? Like I intend to stay here in Windbruck.
We don't want too much of a good thing here. I'm here till Thursday.
He's like actually like giving you like 5 crowns. And like for you.
Thank you. Perhaps come back tomorrow. I'll play you another tale, maybe a tale from another land.
Okay.
Why didn't you sing like this when the elves captured us?
Do you sing under pressure? I mean, it's tough to sing under pressure. This is a nice environment. I could get the real performance going here.
Oh well, you are forgiven.
Thank you.
When it closes in on midnight, I head for the tunnel.
So I'm kind of drunk at this point, and as Efri leaves the inn.
So you leave the inn,
like,
okay? Mm-hmm.
So that's what I heard. She wants to leave for the tunnel, right? So as she does it, I also want to kind of sneak out, pretending I gotta go for a pee. And
Yeah.
I want to stop her and say, Efri, this. I'm very sorry for earlier, and I take out the white lilies and I say I'm sorry, and I hand over the white lilies to Efri.
Aw, that's so sweet. Lothari is moved by this gesture. Efri kind of gives a wry smile, accepts the flowers with a curt nod of her head, and says, "Thank you, Helga. That's much appreciated."
And I want to go back in. I don't say much. Like I just I visibly really have a lot of guilt on my face, and you can kind of tell, like maybe even more than I should for this. So it's like then I move back in.
While Efri is like heading off to the north, I guess. What are you guys in the tavern are doing?
I was wondering, is the guard captain there?
Not yet. It's probably around 9ish, something right now.
Then I would love to go to the guard's house and see if I can find him.
Okay. Anyone coming with you?
I was thinking about it, so either I go alone or I guess I bring Helga and Marcel. I'm just gonna ask Helga if he wants to join, and then Marcel.
Yeah, we should talk to the guard captain again. He seemed to be having suspicions as well.
Right, and maybe he can give us some more information about the elves as well, if we can trust them.
Yeah, we should speak to him.
Okay. Good then. So what you're doing is you are exiting the tavern. And in the distance you see like just someone like going out of the village, and you're making like your way to the guard's house. And the guard's house is like not open, but you can like knock again if you want to.
Are there any windows that one can look into the guardhouse?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's like one around like on the side here.
Then
And
before
one
I
at the
knock,
back.
I would go around the side and see if I can make anybody out.
Yeah, you can make a perception check.
8.
8. You see like there's a candle lit inside. And some
Right,
shadows
then I-
moving.
Yeah, and I go back to the front and then I say, all right, let's see if we can find, meet anyone.
Mhm.
And then knock.
Yeah.
Yeah, you knock. And you hear inside like, go away!
And I knock really, really hard.
Did you hear me?
But it is Herga, Slayer of Elves. I must talk to the guard captain.
Like you hear some like you hear something like break inside, like glass like clear, and like heavy footsteps, and like then the door is like, yes.
We must talk to the guard captain. Right now.
Well, it is
Bring
me.
us to him.
It is me, Gerhard.
Oh, it is you.
Oh, Gerhard, look at you. I didn't even recognize you without your vest. How are you doing tonight? Maybe we join you on an ale.
He's like, you got ale?
Hell yeah. Marcel,
Herga
can you
always has
quickly
ale.
get some ale from the inn?
Sure.
Okay, so Marcel darts off, like goes to Bogdan, gets some ale, and like goes back. In the meantime, like he's like getting you in, and like the guards inside is like not very big actually. There are just some small tables, and there are like 2 cells with iron bars in. But like he gives he sets you sit basically next to the cells, and there is like a wooden a wooden table, and like with some chairs in it, and like he just like falls into one of the chairs, like is like looking at the bottom, like picks up a bottle, like sends it onto the table, like it's like there's not more than this in the bottle, and he's like, sit. And then Marcel comes starting in with some ales and like,
Perfect.
I guess.
There we go. Why do you look so grim,
Sorry.
Marcel?
Do I look grim? Do it.
Oh no, not Marcel. The guy. What's the captain's
I have
name?
ale. Why am I grim?
He's like taking one of the ales, like,
It's Muhammad.
Guess
Oh.
you should have been with us in the inn. It was such a nice tune Marcel played for us.
Oh yes.
I can't take the people anymore.
What is wrong?
The people are wrong. Everyone is wrong.
Is it about that witch again?
Everything has to do with the witch, but it's the people. Like it's the people. It's actually the people, not the witch. I tell you.
The people.
Yeah, people are stupid. People are sheep.
What do you mean? Can't they be trusted, or are they just following the witch's orders?
What? Witch's orders? Like no one following any orders here. People are just stupid and like they don't see, like they don't question things. People are just like, he takes another sip. I don't like people anymore.
I rolled a natural 1 on the inside check.
Congratulations. He's very happy. He's celebrating something.
Is there anyone I can beat up for you, Gerhard? Anyone I can teach a lesson that he shouldn't mess with you, so you can never. He's gonna be a nicer person to you. You don't have to feel that.
Except the whole village. Beat it. Like doesn't
I
matter.
can take them all on. It is I, Herga.
He's actually smiling and it's like, I bet you can, and like drinks another one. And like,
My friend, is it your birthday today? Like, honestly, you drinking and like, yeah, man, you look so happy. How about Marcel actually plays your birthday song? How about that?
Oh, I would be delighted.
I guess not.
what
then.
do you want? You wanna annoy me?
I have a present for you. We've got some more information. You
He's
know
like,
about the situation?
Oh no.
about the situation?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
You know,
listening.
the sorceress situation, the sausage, you know. Let's just call it the sausage.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but keep going.
Sorry, I also had a few ales before. So you were you approached us about the supposed spell around the town, right?
There's a spell. Yeah, the spell. Like,
Yes. Before I say any further, I'll quickly. I rolled a 16 on perception to check if there's anybody around us listening to us.
no, it's not. There's no one in here.
Okay, perfect. So I lean in and say, so we actually went into the forest today.
You did what?
Yes. I know it sounds stupid, but I guess we kind of had a plan, and then the plan fell apart. But we came out even better equipped with a new.
You look terrible.
That's just the light in here. So we acquired some new information that might actually be interesting to you.
Go on. He's like.
So we.
He's pulling out a small like notebook and he's like.
Well, we met some elves, and it was basically Herger was in the motion of eliminating 20 elves in one stroke, but then we came to a peaceful conclusion, and
What?
we were able to have a conversation with the Squirtle, with the squirrels.
You talked with the squirrels?
Yes, and they told us that they, and not
He's like.
the city.
He's looking for someone. He finds his sword on the side of the guardhouse. He's like trying to reach the sword, falls down from the chair, gets up, pulls the sword, and is like, "You're a friend of the squirrels!"
Hold. I have killed many elves in my life. I would never consider myself a friend of the elves, but I am a friend of justice and honor as well. And as far as I can tell, as dishonorable as these elves might be, there is even more dishonor with that witch that is governing his city, and I have come to slay her.
Go on.
He drops the sword like just like as if he forgot that he had it in his hand. Like grabs the beer. Okay.
You had your suspicions, and we have confirmation.
You have proof.
And we might have a way to figure this whole situation out. But for that, we need you in your stable Verfassung.
Condition.
Stable condition.
Yes, exactly.
He's like,
And
you can't tell me like this. Like, go on. I need to know.
how about we meet tomorrow morning, just after the sun rises, or just before the sun rises, even better, and we meet right at the harbor where all the merchants
make
are.
a persuasion check.
It's a 4.
He's like, that's bullshit. Like, if we need to take action right now, tell me what you know. Tell me what you know.
All right. You know what? I'll give you a tip. There's no way that we'll ever make it alive into that tower. But you know what day it is tomorrow?
It's Tuesday.
Exactly. And where is the sorceress on Tuesdays?
Out in the open.
Exactly. And that's where I like my enemies.
But you need I need proof. You need to bring me proof. I'm a man of the law. And he's like,
I will bring you proof.
Enough of this. We have proof in the inn. If you come with us to the inn, we can show you proof.
he's standing up
Which is a false prophet.
again, and the chair falls down. He's like, let's go to the inn
Right now?
right now.
God. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to the inn then.
Okay, you go to the inn then. So you make your way to the inn. Effrey, like, what are you? You're going north. Like, you reach the edge of the
Yeah,
forest.
I'm making my way to the tower, the tunnel entrance that the elf described.
Where is the tunnel entrance?
Where the elf described. I Lothari can't personally remember.
Effrey
but
can't
I
as
know
well.
Effrey was awake while they were.
Yeah, he told you about an underground, but he didn't ever give you specific details where this should be.
I look near the river.
Yeah?
I look for basically entrances like that might be sewer or something that goes back towards Windbruck. Or, outlets, water outlets into the river.
Make a survival check.
This was a bad idea. I got a 12.
Okay, it's not that bad. Like, so you look around, like, you kind of like already exclude the areas where you think like, yeah, there can't be a tunnel like there. You exclude the areas right next to the river where there probably is not an entrance as well. So you're kind of like making a way a bit away from the river and look for suspicious like hatings, so to say, and you look around. At this point, like the crew makes it to the inn, and like you open the inn door, and what do you do? Like,
are there still guardmen like Alfred and all these?
Alfred
guys?
is sitting next with the woodcutters.
Okay. So I would ask Gerhard, how much do you trust your men?
And like, are you already in the tavern?
Maybe
We're still
before.
standing in front.
When only here, like only our crew, and he can hear us.
Okay. He's like, my men, they're like, they have no experience. They've never been to the big cities. They don't know what law means. They don't know what like good guard duty means. They are like they're probably just like the others, like ignorant. But like I think they're good men. But they've never seen battle. They don't know what pain is. They don't know the pains of life. They and yeah.
So maybe it would be a good day to test their will, to test their mettle. But if they would see the truth, would they grasp it, or would they run away from it?
I have no idea.
Then maybe it is better if we go about this in secret.
Okay, just show me the evidence, and then I gather my men.
Okay, and like since I'm used to all my crew members always scolding me for my ideas, I look to Diok and like look for.
And I realized that this is a terrible idea to bring the dragon captain to an elf. So I use Axie and try to, because he's already like very drunk, not very stable, I try to calm him down and tell him we will meet tomorrow morning and then we'll make a plan.
He like you casting this, and he's like looking at you, and he's like, "What do you want?" Like he's like waving in front of his like he waves like you away kind of like, and he's like why tomorrow? Like we told you it's a bad idea. Let's go now.
But now the witch actually. Didn't you know that witches are extremely sensitive at night? This is a terrible idea to go at night.
Make a deception check.
I told you already that we will attack tomorrow when she's out in the open and then she can't flee. If we go now, she has the advantage. She has the high ground.
He's like, first of all, make a perception check, and the second thing is like, I can't do anything to her if I don't have the proof.
16 is the perception check.
That's good. But he's like, yeah, but like, I need the proof.
Was it perception or deception?
Deception.
Oh, deception. I heard perception. I was wondering what I was supposed to see. Deception is 10.
Okay, he's like, we're going to get the proof now. Marcel, you're watching like this
What have you
conversation
done?
unfold. Like, what's your stance on this?
I agree that we should probably wait until the next day. It's a little, we're putting ourselves out in the open here by, like you said, a mage at night. Are you crazy?
Marcel, do you know any songs
Okay.
that can put him to sleep?
No, I see that you are really like we're struggling to keep this in the wraps, and I realize my mistake. And I wanna punch Gerhard and knock him unconscious.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Wait.
Okay.
I mean, wait. So my thought process, just so this is not super suicide. He's super drunk, and we're standing alone in front of his tavern.
Currently, yes.
And I'm also kind of drunk, and he seems very. I mean, he could almost like he couldn't barely hold his sword, so I don't expect a lot of resistance here.
Yes.
Proceed.
Makes
Tell
sense to
him,
me.
we'll tell him that it was a major hangover tomorrow. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That is a 24.
Roll damage.
So is it another unarmed strike?
Mhm.
So it just says 4 damage, but is there anything I should roll in anyway?
No, it's like fine. Like you just do like 4 damage, and you hit him like straight into like his face, and he's like, let's see. The drunk are often the toughest. he's like, ugh! And he's like really surprised. Like you wanna do anything while he's surprised?
I want to grapple him to the ground. I don't know.
Okay. You're like, and you just like jump at him. Make another unarmed attack.
Okay. That's a 1 though.
Congratulations. So you try to grapple him, but you slip, and you just like fall prone next to him on the ground. You're like, drop. And he's like, anyone?
I
How are you gonna get out of this one, buddy?
Does it start a brawl in the tavern?
It's outside of the tavern currently.
Oh, this is outside the tavern. I'm sorry.
Can you? I asked Marcel, can you do anything?
And get in between that guy? He's huge.
No, sing a song. I don't know. Sing him a lullaby. I don't
What do
know.
you want me to sing? A song
Sing
about
him
not
to
how to beat
sleep.
somebody up?
Stop.
Sing him to sleep.
Stop. This is like he's looking at you while you're discussing, and this is like your last chance. You can't discuss anything anymore. This is like your last chance to take any action until
Seems like
he's
now
doing
is the
something.
Perfect time for a high-pitched C.
All right, you know what? You've convinced me. Let's high pitch see this bad boy.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Cover your ears. I tell the other two to cover their ears.
Okay. So you're casting another high C.
That
Yes.
is gonna interact with the people in the bar.
Okay.
We're
Dirk,
outside the bar. We're good.
Dirk, you need to take, and both like Helga and Dirk, you take a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
Okay.
Uh, 10.
Okay.
14.
Dirk, like you press and like nothing happens. You are able to avoid the full rest of the full brunt of it. While Helga, like it's really loud and you're drunk already. Like it's like it's hurting you. So
Drunk cloud.
yeah, and you take 1 damage.
Oh.
It's probably because you're drunk as well. Like you know, doesn't feel like that. That's true. The problem is at the same time like this happens, you also see like the windows of the tavern, which are like next to you, just like shatter. Also, the guard captain is like, ah, and he's like, yeah, he's like, and like, and the glass is just like exploding more or less.
I'm gonna shout. It's the elves!
Oh no.
They escaped with something. They are running into the forest. That's what I'm gonna shout into the tavern.
The door flings open, and like the woodcutters and Alfred just like rush out, and like they're seeing Herga like face down on the floor. They're seeing like the guard captain currently like shaking his head, and Marcel like stopped like singing, and like you just finished your sentence, and like they look both to the guard captain, and like Alfred is like, what's going on? And like the guard captain is still like shaking, and he's like not too sure. He looks at you. He looks like at the inn, and he's like, and you see like he's a bit like he doesn't really know what to expect now. Like you basically turned from full trusted to whatever you are currently, and he's like, arrest them! Arrest them!
I'm gonna try to be convincing while I go down and try to help him up, or like it looks like I care about him, and say they ran that way, pointing towards the forest, shouting, they just ambushed us. We were having a discussion. We were playing Gwent, and then some people attacked us from behind and ran towards the forest, and they grabbed his sword.
Make a deception
his sword
check.
right now, right?
No.
Because he doesn't wear his sword.
No. Make a deception check.
Roll
D or
better than a
per,
4.
per or deception?
Deception.
Deception again. 11.
Alfred is just like looking still at like the guard captain, and he's like get them, and like they're trying to like the woodcut, like one woodcut is trying to hold you, Herger, while the other one like while you getting up, he's like trying to get you. The other one is approaching Dirk, and the other one is Alfred is actually approaching Marcel.
I would like to pick up where trying to convince that it was actually the elves and that they're coming after the wrong people, and I do it. No, wait! It was the elves. They groped our women.
Thank you. You are the one with charisma. You should do it.
Yeah. Yes. That's what I'm saying. I'd like to use the charisma to convince them that, and we are not the ones you should be coming up to.
What do you say? They groped our women?
They groped our women.
You can make like a deception modifier, deception as well. Deception check.
All right. 12.
Okay. They still trying. All of them trying to seize you still. Do you like resist, or do you just let it be?
Well, I have nothing left, so.
Yeah, you're pretty beaten.
Yeah.
How many are there?
It's 3 currently. It's like Alfred and 2 woodcutters.
Alfred and 2 woodcutters.
Have I gotten up from the floor already? Or
Like, yeah, someone actually helps you up. Like,
Helps you up.
But they're standing in front of us, like they're charging towards us, right?
they're not charging. They're actually approaching us. Like, and you like they're already reaching out to you. Like, they're not charging. They're just reaching out, like, for your hand.
Wait.
And Herger, you basically just like one actually already like grabbed you and tries to pull you up.
Okay. So they're trying to help us now. They're not trying to attack us.
They're not attacking, but they're grappling you more or less.
Oh, okay,
Arresting
so-
us. Ah, shit. I don't know what
I would say, but Herger wouldn't.
Yeah, you have 10 seconds
I
now.
don't want to go
10,
for Herger again.
9,
Go for
8,
it.
7.
What
6,
would Herger do?
5,
What would Herger do?
4.
I would say, don't
Okay.
touch me, and I would like try to shove him away at least, or give him a smack with the fist.
Alright, I cast Axie. No, not Axie. I mean R towards the 2 or 3 people approaching me, so they hopefully get knocked down to the ground.
Art is, well, let's see.
This went south so
Okay.
quickly.
And while I do that, I turn towards Marcel and Herger and say, grab the captain and run.
Okay. All 3 are like being pushed back against the wall of the tavern, like.
And while they are distracted, I again tell Herga and
Yeah.
Marcel to run and
I-
start running towards the forest because they will never follow us into the forest because they're scared
North?
of the elves.
Shall we? So, but first of all, you said take the guard captain. So should I try to grapple him and take him with us? Like put him over my shoulder, like
Throw him
sack
over
of
your shoulder.
potatoes?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm a
Yeah, I
strong
say
swimming.
you heard the white-haired man. Let's get the heck out of here.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to grapple the guard captain and put him over my shoulder.
The guard captain is like turning to you, and he's like trying to punch you.
Yeah. You can try. I don't care.
Okay.
I do it anyway. And he's punching me.
He's missing, like he's drunk, and he's like just.
Yeah. Okay.
As you try to grapple him and take him with you.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah. Yeah. It's, what is
attack, unarmed
Attack?
attack.
unarmed attack? Then it's 12 plus 5, so 17.
Yeah, you got him. Like, and he also hasn't like he can't really do saving throw against you because he's like. But the problem is like, since you lift a bit, like you have more like on yourself, like you're waiting more. You're a bit slower now. So while Dirk and Marcel probably could be very fast, like like a bit, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm right behind Herga and Marcel and try to hurry them ahead. And when I see that the guard and the 2 woodcutters get up again, the lumberjacks, I turn towards them and try to be as intimidating as I can. And I pull out my medallion because I think that they grew up in this town and have no clue how the world runs. So I pull out the medallion and I basically point it at them and say, "Stay back! You don't want to mess with us." And we will bring your captain back, but we will go into the forest because the elves do not attack us because they are scared of us. So stay back if you don't want to lose your lives.
Make an
This was just a
intimidation.
first taste.
Make an intimidation check with disadvantage, please.
Oh no, the first one was so good. No, no. Okay, 7.
Okay. You shout them, they get up and they're like, "Ugh," like a bit shaken from the art, but like they're like the woodcutter like actually grabbing his axe again, and they're like trying to like charge after you.
Can I also try and like just scream at them?
Okay.
Like rah.
Yes.
All right. 19.
That works. Actually, like you're screaming like, "Rah!" They're like, "Oh, shit!" Like, who is that? Like they're really staggering a bit, and like it gives you a bit more time to actually like turn around and like, run. So you run.
Yeah, no, I think we bravely run away.
Okay.
Helga bravely runs away.
Into the forest.
Marcel, anything like you want to do, like while running or before running or whatever?
Well, I'm at the heels of Herger here, so
Okay.
if he scared him away, I'm right there. So.
Okay, so you're running, and you're actually making it like to the forest, but they are like closing up on you. And like Ephraim, until now you haven't seen anything like which could be like a tunnel or something. But what you hear is like people shouting, and like there's like a group chased by another group, like running into your direction. And like when they come near, you actually see that it's like Herga with someone on his back, Marcel, and Dirk.
I just watched them. Like, so I view these things like I would television show. So Effrey looks like across opposite the camera, and then the camera snaps to just a snap of the group of them running across the screen in the background. And then back to Effrey just shaking her head, going,
So they're approaching you actually, and like they're coming like on the main way into your direction. Except you want to go otherwise.
I wait for them.
Okay, it's like at some point you see Ephraim, and like you're running towards Ephraim.
And I shout to her, "Do something to make them scared."
Summon a lightning storm.
Right, okay, so how does minor illusion work?
Oh, that's cool. You can basically create either like a sound, an image, even a smell on a certain point, like where you can see. But it can't be live person. It needs to be like an object.
A sound, you say?
It can also make a sound, yes. Loudest is a scream. Like,
Can I? How close am I to the forest?
oh, you're in the forest still, like kind of like in the
I'm
edge of the
in the
forest.
forest.
Edge of the forest, I
Okay.
would say.
As they close in on me, then I create the sound of wolves,
Of what? Of?
like wolves,
Okay.
really close by, really
Like
really
howling from the side of the
Yeah.
wood. Okay.
from the forest.
Okay, you cast like this, like you hear like loud, "Arr!" And like Herka, Marcel, and Duke, like the sound is not far away from where you are. They are actually running kind of like in the direction, the bit like next to you. Like it seems like they are wolves, like and like not like a few of them, but actually a lot of them.
Not this again.
So
Well, I told Effie to scare them, so I'm hoping that it's only her, and I also shout some elven words towards Effie, so the guards might think we are in friends with the elves.
Like, what do you say?
I say, I hope that's you.
Effie kind of rolls her neck upwards for a moment and says nothing else and does nothing else and just kind of stands where she is.
okay, so you run into that direction, or like what do you do? Like what?
Yeah, we run straight into the forest.
Okay.
Into like where it gets really thick.
Every like behind him, you really see like the woodcutters and like Alfred are really like, huh! like looking at like the wolves, and like it's still howling, like it howls until you stop actually.
Yeah.
So, and they're
So
like,
I just keep it up like
Okay.
a dozen and a half,
okay,
18, 20 wolves like that they can't see, but they can definitely hear.
okay. So like they're waiting and they're not sure. Like they're currently starting to discuss like what they're going to do while you make your way into the forest. After do you run as well with them?
Am I in sight of the guards?
Yeah, you kind of see them. Like you see them from the edge of the forest. You can see in the open on the field there the guards. Well, there's actually one
Well-
guard and two woodcutters.
I walk towards them.
Okay. So like you three see like you run, but Effie doesn't join you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go out of the out of the forest, and you approach the woodcutters, and the three look at you.
I hope that they're at least stopped or slow to a walk
They
so
stopped.
that I can greet them. And as I'm walking towards them, then the howls fade away.
Mhm.
And I ask them directly, what is the meaning of this?
And they're like, as soon as
Made me punch Gerhard.
Not you. You're running.
you're running away,
sorry,
like it's
sorry.
Effie only. Like you basically passed Effie. She doesn't care about you.
Okay. We're gone.
And like they are looking at the wolves and they're looking at you, and like they're discussing like, should we go? Like, should we chase them? Like, what about the elves?
Yeah.
Um,
I asked them. I tried to get all of their attention and ask them directly, what is going on?
did you like? Why? And like he's like really searching for words. Like, what do you do in the forest? Have you seen them?
I was trying to find materials for my studies.
And he's like,
I was chased out of the forest by wolves.
Oh, and they look to the forest, and they're looking at you, and like he's looking at the forest, and then he's like, okay, like, good that you meet like us, like the city guard, like me. I'll gladly escort you safely back to the town, my lady. And he's like,
That would be most satisfactory.
and like, actually,
And I
escorts.
try to discern. Have they also been drinking?
A bit, like you smell
While
it.
we travel, I try to get to grips with what happened in the village. that the others were literally being chased out of it.
So basically, the story what you get from them is that they're led an attack on the inn, and that they take like the guard captain hostage, and they ran off with him in the forest, and yeah.
Men, I say, at the end of it. They cannot be trusted to be left to their own devices.
And you get
I'm sure there is, and I try to wrap their heads around the fact that there may be a misunderstanding. I say to them, I'm sure that if there has been alcohol involved, there is some misunderstanding. I'm sure come morning we will be able to sort everything out, and anything that they have said to you should be discarded.
he's like we will get evidence and then we will discuss their case. And he leads you back to the inn.
I'm sure. Now is the question of how far is Ephraim willing to go for these people who she barely knows and are murdering the person that she's out to meet? Like, as we're walking actually towards the tavern and I'm looking at the shattered windows, I kind of stop them before we go inside, and I turn to them and I say, should you find evidence happen, what is the crime? What is the punishment?
He's like, I need to consult with the law book. They're like, it's very it really depends on like the fine nuances of the case. Was it like intentional? Was it like a planned thing? It heavily it heavily depends on the the circumstances.
I see. And the only word you have is that of?
Is that of what?
Whose word are you going off?
Oh,
The captain, who isn't here?
we saw it with our own eyes. Like we don't.
I don't doubt that. But my point is, you have no evidence.
Of course, we have 3 witnesses.
You.
Yes, and my 2 friends here.
I see. I look at the sky. I shake my head. I say, thank you for escorting me back to the inn.
You see Bogdan outside, like with a big broomstick, and he's like, "Oh, poor Bogdan! My inn! Why did Bogdan deserve this?" And cleaning up. Okay. Meanwhile, yeah, you doing something special at the inn?
Please.
I don't know what to do. I kind of like.
I think Effrey would be wondering what happened to the rest of the crew that wasn't with us.
I mean, yeah, I know. Like, I probably go and see. I would definitely go to see Calavandra to explain why we should never let men do anything on their own ever again. And
you're going to do that? Like, that's like, let's leave it there for you. Basically going into the tavern and like looking for Calavandra. Meanwhile, in the forest, you have like a guard captain who's like trying to like wriggle free a bit, and like you're running into the forest. Like, anything specifically you want to achieve here?
I would do something once we are in a safe distance, but until then, nothing.
Yeah. Okay. At some point, you are.
Okay. So I suppose the guard captain is still wriggling and trying to get away.
Yeah, he's like conscious. He's like actually like talking to you, like, "Oh, you want from me?"
So yeah, as we come to a stop, I finally drop him to the ground, and I suppose the others are with me as well. We had the same pace.
Yes.
And I say, what by the 7 devils did you think you were doing, trying to get us arrested? We were trying to give you proof, but then my friends didn't want me to. We had an elf with us the entire time. Your witch's spell is wrong. That is our proof. Why did you have to call the guards on us?
He's like eyes like, "You have an elf with you?" And
the entire time.
Why did you attack me then?
Because they didn't want you to.
You're a liar! You're a damn liar!
and I smack him in the face to convince him that I'm not a liar.
Okay, sure. Like at this point, you don't even need to roll. You just like, and he's like, ugh, and he's passing out. Like,
Good job.
so, any plans for the evening for you, Free?
Yes, I wanna tie the captain up. I was thinking about bringing him to the elven camp, but I don't think that's a good idea. So I'm just trying. Basically, what I was aiming at is to sober up through the night, sober the
Okay.
captain up, and then in the morning, when we're all fit and not drunk anymore, basically tell him what we're gonna aim for.
So you time up and then you go to sleep and try to make a camp like basically where you are,
then.
somewhere in the forest.
Yeah.
Okay. Good, then let's leave it here. Thank you very much for the session.
So badly wrong. You know what? I have been playing RPGs for near to a decade. Not once until now has my party literally been chased out of the village. Not once. It's one of the biggest tropes in RPGs. I thought I was plain sailing. Nope. Thank you. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
That was so awesome.
I'm really interested to see like how you pursue like the quest around Windbruck further.
Yes, me too.
I have to congratulate you, Green Cricket, as well, for at least, if I've understood everything correctly, tying everything together so beautifully.
Yeah, that was
It's
crazy.
very well crafted.
Thank you. Well.
Yeah, very well done.
So I think like next round will be an interesting one. Actually, for the people watching, thank you for like writing in the chat a lot. Like I've like checked from time to time in. It's really glad that you're enjoying it and like you actually. Actually Chess was in the chat like in the end already, and she actually commented on your actions. So if you didn't read it, like you may want to reread it at some point.
We have a lot of repairing. Jess, if you're still here, we have a lot of repairing work to do next week.
Yeah, and like next week will be interesting because next week Calvendra will probably be there as well again. I think next round we will be 5 players. So from then on, like we have a 5-player group, and that may become even more interesting. Let's see what Jess will do as soon as she's back on her feet, so to say.
It was going so well for so
Well,
long,
you
and then it
couldn't
just
turn
went whoop.
It started with an axe into your back. So no, it started with an
No.
arrow.
That's true. I blame Ryan for. And
Okay.
again, like, Effrey had been doing so well up until that point, and the first damage she took, and the second damage she took is from other players. This was not a good week for Effrey.
Well, we didn't have chess dices, so like, what can we say?
That's true. Yeah, that's why.
And it's me who basically has the highest acrobatics that failed to climb the tree higher and then failed to shoot his main weapon into a tree. So
Yeah, everyone has a bad day, so.
Well,
Okay.
I guess good thing I didn't throw the axe at the beginning. I could have caused it.
You beheaded,
split Marcel in half.
or the leader of the elves just in half, like story done.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm genuinely like, I know that I've been giving like shakes of the head and rolling eyes. That's my personal reaction to, you know, what's going on. But I'm super excited to see how it gets resolved. I just hope that Effrey doesn't end up with no storyline.
Oh no. Also, it depends really on you, like what's happened. Actually, in the beginning, when Marcel tried to run, I was like, wow. Like, I introduced the player to the group and he's now gone again. I was like, it's totally in character. I was like, it totally makes sense.
That's what I would do. Why would I want to stick around?
But I'm glad you ended up at least with the group now. So let's see how long that lasts.
And I promise I didn't mean to mess everything up. I just did what I thought was in her.
No, like
Oh,
honestly, the best thing any of us can do for storytelling is stick in character.
Yeah, messing
Yeah.
things up is great.
So much
I think
more.
Marcel and Herger are going to be
Yeah,
hell.
good, best buddies, definitely.
Yeah.
You already are. Okay, let me thank you.
It was
Okay.
awesome. I hope everyone had a good time. I know I did.
Thank you everyone for like watching this. Like it was enjoyable. Thank you for playing. We'll be there next Monday again at 19 or like at 7 p.m. CST. So join us when we'll see how the story of Windbruck continues. And until then, I hope you have a nice evening and good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night.